on the Almighty.
Open to the point where you start becoming jaded to certain things. The most well-known case was of a Kansas boy who, at age 13, impregnated his 17-year-old babysitter. Under Kansas law, a child under the age of 15 is legally unable to consent to sex. The Supreme Court 1993 ruled that he was liable for child support. Yeah, you know that it's bro, the stuff like that stuff is crazy. Like you see, like you sit there, you get taken advantage of, and then in those cases, right, legal rape, illegal rape, excuse me, and you gonna be paying child support, right? Don't mind that you was 13 years old, right, and you was clearly taken advantage of. Whew, 13.
Said the exact same thing, that he had basically full editorial
Didn't Tucker
privilege.
get fired for having an opinion that went outside of
And then the lies that they said they do, like, because when he sat there, and I remember hearing that too, when he sat there, he said that didn't Tucker get fired for having an opinion? No, that's not at all what happened. Tucker got fired because of what he had in the text messages that just contradict what Fox News was sitting there and parroting with the fake oh God, what is it? The votes, the voter machine shit, where he didn't even believe it, but he was sitting there still talking. He's still sitting there, and that's why I don't even like Tucker Carlson either, right? And that actually, bro, I don't understand why people still sit there and they listen to them, or they listen to Alex Jones. Like these people, like if you could be a fly on the wall, you would realize that these people actually really know what they're saying is an outright lie. For why they sit there and they spread these lies, I don't know, right? Tucker Carlson did not believe the cracking lady. He didn't believe all that ish with the fake voter machine thing, right? And then like what happened, right? The lawsuit, the discovery, all that came out and came to light. And guess what? And Fox News especially didn't like it because at that point they had to settle, right? You don't settle in court unless unless you either don't want to deal with the publicity or you are for sure know you're going to lose, right? And Fox News knew they were going to lose. They knew they were going to lose because what they were saying, what they've been spreading for however long they've been spreading, was just absolute lies. Period. This is the Hunter Biden laptop story. That it contained information directly to Joe Biden. That is false. That still is false. The laptop exists. They're sitting there trying to argue about about people saying that the laptop was fake. No, okay, sure, the laptop was real, but the story you were saying about its relevance is fake. That's what. Let's see. In dividing official from unofficial conduct, courts may not inquire into. Oh yeah, this is what everybody kept talking about. This right here. This is terrible, huh? You know that than anything, right? Wouldn't that mean that anything that Congress could subpoena would be legitimate, right? Because Congress can pass a law for just about anything, isn't it? Like, isn't that the case? They can outlaw stuff. They can make things legal, right? They can create holidays. They can create The president's executive branch authority would be significantly undermined if appellate review of the constitutional challenge were postponed until after conviction and sentence, right? So having to wait till after the trial would be a problem. Even though everybody else has to do it for criminal things, the president shouldn't be subjected to that. Hear, I knew king. This is so crazy. As the court explains, the possibility that the president will be made to defend his official conduct before a jury after he leaves office could distort his decision while in office. These Article 2 concerns do not insulate the president from prosecution, but they do justify I hate that they do this, right? This is of course insulation, right? If it can't even be brought before the court to begin with, like inherently that means that it's just like he's just immune and he's being insulated from prosecution, because if the prosecution has to do with any conduct official, then it can't be prosecuted. That's what that means. Why do they sit there and try to like present it to you as if like it's saying that he's not insulated from prosecution when he's clearly being insulated from prosecution? This is I don't understand it. I've got to be reading this. I'm gonna just chalk this up to the fact that I am not an attorney, not a lawyer, right? So maybe I'm not understanding something entirely, but as I read this, it can't be interpreted as any other way. He is protected from official acts. Official acts can't even be like looked at in the court system. How does he not be insulated from prosecution if the prosecution can't even happen to begin with? I don't understand what that statement means. I'm gonna give you the nutshell of this case, right? This court case basically said this: when the president of the United States is doing anything that is officially allowed from the Constitution, meaning that our Constitution says the president can do this thing, it cannot be prosecuted. Period. There is no circumstance whatsoever. He has absolute immunity from anything the Constitution authorizes him to do. So when the Constitution authorizes him to use the military to conduct a military action, like protect the interests of the United States against all threats, foreign or domestic, or whatever, especially like the foreign ones, right? He can't be prosecuted for it, right? If I got holed by a huge like hospital bill that I cannot pay, right, then my credit, right, because once it hits collections, 90 days, right, not making a payment, hits collections and everything, your credit down the water, right? Now getting housing is harder, right, because there's credit checks. Getting a job is more harder, right, because they do credit checks in case if you have excessive debt, right, because those are certain liabilities that certain companies, especially in certain industries, avoid hiring people that have. Right now, like I can't afford to like start funding certain things. Like if I wanted to start a business and trying to get like an initial credit loan, or trying to like get a new a car or something, right? Like what if my car my car blows up, right? I need a new car, right? I'm not about to finance it if I got a hospital bill that went into collections for damn sure, unless I'm going to pay an outrageous interest rate if I find one that actually gives it to me.
We've never, ever, ever needed a Supreme Court to tell us that the president has criminal immunity from that. The idea that we needed this decision today to spell that.
Well, I would sit there and argue that, like, true, we didn't need the Supreme Court, we didn't need the court system, period, to actually make that clear that the president should enjoy immunity. The problem is, it's just that because the law technically, well, prior to then, right, because it technically...
Well, from video footage, it shows them just walking in.
Hold on, excuse me. Do you think that the first people that got into the Capitol, do you think they just walked in?
Well, did you see them just walk in?
No, they didn't, because I actually watched the videos, ma'am.
Oh no, we was just looking at this yesterday, because there was somebody in my chat that was sitting there saying that, oh yeah, they don't care about the January 6th thing after they saw the video of the people being let in. And I was just like, oh yeah, I know what video you're talking about, let's go find it, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to find a video because I know what video he's talking about. Not only could I not find the video, I know it exists, I seen it, I just, like, for the life of me, I just couldn't find it. Every other video we was sitting there pulling up was not these people just being let in. Sounds like, hold on, and the whole time I just kept saying, like, man, isn't this crazy that somebody, there's somebody that let them in, but they're not using the door that they're apparently being let in, right? Why are they sitting there breaking down these windows or these doors or pushing these cops or breaking this other stuff? Like, it was just like, to me, like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't understand why. This is a serious problem. This is a serious problem that, like, we have to figure out some way to address. So just to be clear, right, I want you to just put yourself in a guard shoe. And if you are, as a matter of fact, I want you to just think about this, right? If you are a guard, right, if you're a police officer, if you are charged in any position where you have to secure an area, okay, and thousands of people show up and make their way in, are you going to sit there and try to apprehend one person? Even if they start breaking stuff, are you really about to sit there and try to do anything? When that one or two person, whoever it is, came with like a ginormous group? No, the moment you put you inherently know, the moment I try to put my hands on this person, right, I'm gonna get my ass beat. Like, that's just like that's just common sense. So like when the guard was just sitting there, just walking around with them, just sitting there, just monitoring them, like, that made perfect sense to me, right? He's outnumbered. He's not about to sit there. I'm not about to sit there and do anything. If I'm in that exact situation, right? The areas where we got the actual congressman is actually secured. We got people with guns over there, right? And they got the doors locked over there. All right, cool. I'ma just sit here. I'ma watch what everybody's doing, walking around, try to get them to like just not get close enough, close over there. And if they just start making their way over there, oh well, right? I'ma keep telling them no and try to like do my actual job. But I'm not about to sit there and stop them. Stop them for what? Like, How? How you about to stop 1,000 people? How you about to stop 10 people, right? That wanted to get to like whatever area they're trying to get to, and it's just you. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy to me that they're gonna watch a video of that situation there and say, oh yeah, so clearly, like, you know, it was a tour, people will be let in and whatever. Like, get out of here. This is
Have you seen
stupid.
any of them? Have you the fuck you're talking about? You think there were like
okay.
millions
I
and
see what
millions of
you're
people protesting for like a year? You think the majority of those were violent? You're actually deranged if you think that. I don't even know.
I didn't say majority. I said
I
I
asked
saw
you.
BLM protests that were violent.
I didn't
that
ask what you saw on
there was
YouTube. I didn't say.
fire,
I'm asking
there
you about the
was
majority.
Hold on. She said she saw a lot of America burn though. What is a lot of America? What is a lot of America supposed to mean in that in that context then?
Majority of them were
cocktails.
violent.
And anchors from outlets that were reporting on the ground, such as CNN, I believe it was.
Yeah, I
that
know. I
said,
saw the same one. Yeah, I saw the same meme image. Don't worry, I've tweeted out before. It was real funny. Yep, I've seen it.
Fiery but mostly peaceful. Do you disagree that? Do you agree that you can call a protest that involves burning down police stations and streets and storefronts and where people have to put?
Oh my God, this is so crazy, right? If you're gonna sit there, you're gonna do that. Then why? How is it that you think January 6th wasn't the same thing? And then you got videos of them like literally crushing these cops in between doors, taking like dude's baton and beating and like beating this man on the ground with it, taking his taser or whatever. Like, bro, this is so crazy. This is crazy. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Like that's so wild to me. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is like such a massive problem. Then again, this girl's in Canada, so it doesn't even matter. But just the fact that these type of people exist, right? These are paid actors. I swear these gotta be paid actors. They cannot be anything else. They have to be paid actors. I promise you, right? I'm trying to think, would I sit there and do it? If somebody paid me for a large sum of money, would I sit there and act like that? Well, I'll just sit there and just act like I have only 5 brain cells that they're functioning at any given time, and sit there and try to like lie to people sitting there saying that, oh yeah, like this obviously wasn't violent, but then I look at this other separate situation that has literally the exact same like things going on in it and say this one was actually violent. This is wild to me. This is so crazy.
Well, first off, I would say that the FBI document case in Mar-a-Lago, given that Biden is guilty of the same crime, if it is one, I think that one's fraudulent.
Okay, just curious on that case. What is the crime?
It was, I think it was holding confidential documents after he left the White House, right?
You understand there's an intentionality aspect to that, right? You have to intentionally take and then knowingly hold classified information out of a SCIF. Yeah. It's not just like accidentally taking it, right? You understand that a lot of what Donald Trump is charged for in the Mar-a-Lago stuff is
that's the thing a lot of people are sitting there always forget, right? Like Biden, like Mike Pence, same exact thing, right? He had classified documents. He had classified documents. Like the difference is that you have to also show your intention to either keep said documents when you know you shouldn't have them, and / or do something with them you know you're not supposed to do. That second part. That second part is what get people hemmed up more than anything. Just the fact of you having documents that you shouldn't have isn't what is the actual crime that gets people in trouble. It's what you do after the fact. That's always the crime. That's what always actually gets you jail time or whatever, right? It's not enough that I sit there and I have a document I'm not supposed to have. But if I sit there and I try to sell it to China, like the one submarine, like I think like within recently, within a couple of months, it was like some submarine secrets or something that some guy was trying to sit there and give to China, like, stuff like that. Bro, it's a 90-day difference. So then when Trump sat there, he had said documents. He was told he had said documents and was told to give them back, and he did everything everything under the sun not to give them back. I'm sorry. Like there's no comparison between that and what Mike Pence did and what Joe Biden did, right? Because when they found out they had documents, what did they do? They gave them shits back. Like, oh yeah, my bad. And then gave them back. No evidence of any fraudulent activity, like them trying to sell it to Russia or something like that. Okay, yeah, we're good. That's it. Like it's so wild to me, like that people sit there and try to like hold on to that argument. It's
obstruction of justice because he told his employee to hide documents from NARA and then the FBI, right? Or did you not know that? Because you haven't read that indictment, but you were throwing up.
And they got video of that too, right? They got video of the man, like of the man of whoever the Trump employee is, sitting there trying to shuffle the documents around to other places so other people wouldn't find it. It's just crazy.
And the idea that just because you calmly and politely suggest that a guy that tried to overthrow the republic ought to be president, and that's a respectable opinion because you say it with a low voice, is beyond redemption to me. It's disgusting.
Okay, so you think we're disgusting? You think we're a basket of deplorables? Okay, I have a question that's sort of related. I see that a person named
Do you notice how she said what is it, basket of deplorables? That statement there. So like you already know what kind of time she's also on, right? She's not there to actually like engage in like a actual legitimate matter, right? And then she has such a good depth of knowledge on all like the Hillary Clinton stuff, but then doesn't know anything about like the actual like Trump stuff that Trump is actually being charged with. That to me is crazy. To me that is pretty crazy. I was gonna say, right, because with all of the stuff that people have pushed, what didn't Alex Jones push the what is it that God, the school shooting thing, saying that it's fake, and then getting other people to believe it, and then harassing all the people whose children were killed. Then you got the people, right, that was saying that like basically Hillary Clinton was running like something underneath a pizza factory, a pizzeria that's skinning children alive or whatever it is, right? And then somebody eventually went up into that pizzeria with a weapon to try and like save these children. Like there has been so much of the rhetoric stuff, and now like I said, now you're getting this thing where like hell, like with the like PBD podcast, right? Because like I like to watch them a lot. And they used to be like pretty balanced, obviously like right leaning, but at least like they weren't crazy. But after the whole like Obama gay letter thing, right? Then they started becoming hella unhinged. So like now it's like them, Tim Pool, of course, and like all these other like big right pundits that just keep on like pushing civil war, like to like come on, like it's just like at the end of the day, like I don't agree with it, but I totally understand like where Destiny is kind of like at this point with it, when you want to sit there, you want to try to like make comparisons on the left and the right with it. Again, I don't agree with it at all. But like what they say, right? If a pig wants to get dirty, why get in there with the pig, right? Because it's gonna have the home field advantage. So
you're just a speaker.
Okay, well, just
Okay, go on, finish your point.
yes,
Sorry,
okay.
then we'll move on to Laura and finish your point.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. We'll give him the last word. Okay. I don't care. Like supporting a criminal is not my thing. It's supporting an insurrectionist. That's what I've said since the very beginning. I'm sure that if you go through a lot of people's actions, you might be able to find crimes. Maybe you can charge them. Maybe they even get convicted for it. My issue right now is not the documents case with Donald Trump. That's just one of the 4 indictments he was facing. The 2 huge ones, the Georgia one and the big federal one, the Jackson one about insurrection. Those are the 2 massive things. Okay. I don't even know if you want to support a president who's had criminal charges, criminal behavior. I don't even think that's necessarily anti-American, depending on what you're criminally charged with. There's a whole host of like stupid things there where it's like that's criminal. You should be held accountable for it, but it's not like anti-American. Supporting insurrection absolutely is.
It's not anti-American to not actually keep track of classified documents that put our classified activities in danger. That's not anti-American. That's not.
I mean, it would depend on.
As somebody who spent 10 years in the Army, I know that anybody that misplaced any classified materials in the Army, if you misplaced even a low-level classified document, one of them, you were going to lose rank, you were going to lose pay, you were very likely going to be getting jail in the Army. You're definitely going to be discharged from the military. So
hold on, just a real quick thing. You probably, I mean, you could be discharged, you could lose your job, you could lose rank, whatever. Likely criminally charged, probably not.
Here's the thing. First of all, as somebody who worked in the crypto side of the Army, yes, you will be criminally charged. In fact, I've seen people be criminally charged. I've seen soldiers be criminally charged for losing a crypto device in a Humvee that was blown the fuck up. So
yeah, no.
What? Okay, he's talking out of his ass. No. Like, I'm sorry. That right there, that just pissed me off. Like, what? Like, you sit there. Okay, all right. Notice too how he said a crypto device, right? He didn't say classified documents. He said a crypto device. See how slick these people try to get, because they go into a topic that you probably don't know nothing about because they've been in whatever particular field, and then they sit there and they just like real quickly try to change up the word so that you don't even catch on, right? He said classified documents, but then the guy then brought up a crypto device, right? A crypto device completely different from a classified documents case, right? And then let me tell you something, right? He said because like a vehicle that was blown up. Let's go through what he's talking about face value. Okay, what is he saying at face value? He's saying that somebody, right, got criminally charged for not recovering a device in a vehicle that was blown up, right? That sounds kind of strange, right? Don't off the rip, doesn't that sound a bit strange to you that you would charge somebody criminally for not retrieving a device from something that was blown up, right? And we're using the context of the military here, right? So hold on, was the vehicle under attack? You know what I'm saying? Were there RPGs or something like on it? Was it a missile strike or something? Like, these are the things you want to start, like, you start thinking about, like, damn, that's kind of wild that I would sit there and be held criminally liable for not recovering a device during, like, an active war situation, right? So if what he's saying is true, which is not, I promise you it's not. I can oh my God, it's not. It just isn't. If there was a criminal charge, there's significantly more to the story than what he just presented. I assure you, nobody's being held criminally liable for not retrieving something from a vehicle that's been blown up from an attack. All right. It could have been things like the vehicle was blown up through the negligence, right? What if, like, like, I don't know, put the wrong fuel or something inside the vehicle, right? And it just exploded, right? And then you didn't bother to go back and actually go, like, get the, get the device, right? Or that, like, it was, there was an attack, right? Like, there was an attack on, like, in a nearby village or something, right? Where there was RPGs and whatnot, and it blew the vehicle up, and after you neutralized the threat, you didn't bother to go and get your super sensitive stuff from the vehicle. But then even that's like a hell of a stretch, right? Because you have to show intent that you were just purposely like leaving it there. Like negligence at best, what he's describing is an Article 15 at best, right? So just so you know, like, because I don't want to go like too deep into it, right? You have like they call them articles, right? There's Article 15 and then there's court martials, right? Like the actual like criminal proceedings. And so like Article 15 is like how you can adjudicate crimes without actually going through like an actual formal court process, right? And it's usually used for like low level stuff. When you sit there and say that you could lose your rank, get demoted and stuff like that, a lot of that is done through the Article 15 process. That's not a criminal proceeding. You know what I'm saying? That's you fucked up. We're going to hold you accountable for it. And then, we take all these things, right? The court process is for like the more serious things. And so like the fact that like the situation he's laying out, because again, there's no specific crime for mishandling like classified documents. It's always, like I said earlier, it is always what you did with said classified documents that's going to be the issue. And I'm realizing that it is now officially late for me. So I am going to finish this building here, like whatever I have like being built here. Let me just build it out, and then yeah, we're gonna cut this off because we gotta go. It's late, and we gotta go to work. So yeah, this all looks good, and then I can clean this all up like later or next time when I'm. All right, we're here, guys. It's been a long time coming. So much to go back over and talk about, get through. Hold on a second here. That looks fine. It looks fine to me. All right. So let's see. What are we going over? Next time you go live, we should study MK Ultra. Robin, what is this MK Ultra thing you speak of? Let me see here. MK Ultra. Okay, Project MK Ultra was an illegal human experiments program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to develop procedures. So off the bat, if it's an illegal program that the CIA was doing, this had to be probably before the 1970s. Let me see. What's the timeline on this? Let's look. During the early 1940s, Nazi scientists. Okay, so see, I already knew. I already knew. No, it's bigger. Let me find a video. Okay, sure. I'm just taking a quick look just to see. But I knew it, right? 1960s, right? Because, yeah, like these FBI, CIA and stuff, boy, before it seemed like before like the 1960s or 70s. I want to say really before the 1970s, but really after the 1960s when like the government started clamping down on just like the stupid stuff that goes on within the government. They were doing some wild things. They were most certainly doing some wild things. Why they won't release or why they won't declassify the assassination stuff with JFK or declassify stuff with the Martin Luther King, like, just things like that you'd be like, for what reason at all would it be necessary to classify something like that? Unless unless there was some crazy involvement. If not with our own government, with some other like crazy government that's now our allies that they don't want to like throw under the bus or whatever, right? Those are only like two things that come to my mind. But yeah, like this sounds exactly just right up that alley, MK Ultra. Which that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to like go through. But yeah, let me actually just lower this down here because I don't need that to be so loud. But yeah, guys. So we're officially back. We officially got our politics stuff going. We have two separate systems now. Excuse me. For streaming that we can swap out if we need to when one goes down or when one like stops working. Because Brev, let me tell you that amount of time, I said it in the other stream, right? That amount of time that I was spending trying to get this stuff back working when I was trying to move to my desktop because the laptop was a little bit unstable, which is what I'm using right now. Right now I'm using the laptop, and that's because earlier we was just gaming on the desktop. So yeah, like we're in a place now where we're going to be really stable. A lot of those changes I was doing was absolutely needed because a lot of the stuff that I was doing was also costing me some money as well in terms of like some of the services I was utilizing. But I always paid the annual subscription. So, you know, you just save a little bit of money, just a little bit, but they're still expensive though. So once I was like, okay, looking at the stuff and fine tuning enough, I was in a good spot to where I could do those services, what I'm using those services for myself on my system and still be able to stream without no issue, allegedly without any issue, because we are having a lot of issues. I was like, yeah, I absolutely got to take it, because that was like I think like almost $500, right, annually that I'll now be saving because I'm able to do what I was using those services for myself. So it was all good stuff here. Are you getting off? I can send it, but it's 22 minutes. No, yeah, that's fine. We're not getting off no time soon. Yeah, it's only Saturday, 12:37. 12:37. I mean, depending on your time zone. But excuse me. Yeah. My body's tired though, for sure. But anyway. Yes, and there goes the video. Yes, our favorite site. You loves you some BitChew. BitChew. It sounds like a male enhancement drug. BitChew. BitChew. I'm gonna move this over here, so and put it in our tab because we'll be pulling it up. That'll be a watcher. That will for sure be a watcher. But excuse me. Wow, I am like really tired. It's killing me. I am like really tired. And then we are now officially on. When did I get my haircut? I got my haircut like I think like May. No, it was way earlier than that. March. I think it's March. So yeah, we're approaching 6 months now. No haircut. Originally I wanted to get to 7 months, but I might not cut it till December. We'll see. Right? Doing a long wolfish session. Starting to get hard to be able to like lay it back down at times. Just because I also start getting lazy after a while because this is a lot of work. But yeah, that's that. But once I get my haircut, oh man, is it gonna come out so nice? It's gonna come out so nice. All this is gonna come out so nice once I finally get my haircut. But anyway, let's get to it now. All right. So what are we looking at today? First, let's actually go ahead and swap screens here. Okay. All right. And it's ooh, what is that? It's I spoke too soon. Clearly I spoke too soon. Why is it freezing like this? It shouldn't be freezing like this. This is crazy. Okay, so the encoder's crashed. Wow. Okay. Let me figure it out. Hold on. Let me go to modify real quick. Wait, why is Twitch be getting from OBS? Get from OBS. That is not at all how that should be going. No, it's like, yeah, they're doing 8. They're doing 8. See, I was talking all that good stuff. For sure, I was talking good stuff, and now here we are. Now here we are. We was talking so much good stuff, man. So much. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. But go past. Okay. Yep. Don't know why. Okay. Okay. Still lagging. Really. And I don't. Bro, it was literally working fine. Not even like 10 minutes ago. It was working fine like 10 minutes ago on a game. I was playing a game and it was 35 minutes ago. What happened? Let me see something. Let me think about this. Let's think about this. Let me close this real quick. Yeah, close that real fast. Hold on. This is crazy. Okay. Well, it's okay. So it's snapping itself back together. That's always a good sign. I'm going to try and start a particular application back up once more, and hopefully it doesn't die on me. Hold on. You see? That's crazy. Like I literally changed nothing. Okay, let's see what we got here. Right, so now if I connect you and put you back, right? If I go back to my OBS, what is my OBS looking like? It looks like it's back to normal, I hope. Hopefully. Okay. All right, well, that's good. At least it's good. I have no idea. I have no idea why that happened per se, but at least it looks like it's back now. So I'm trying to just double check, make sure I don't have anything I can kill. Hold on. One more quick check. This time in Task Manager. No, I think one of the encoders did just die. Let's see. No, they look like they're all right. They look like they're going. Allegedly they're going strong. Oh, beat that. Okay. Yep. Excellent connection. That's live. Okay. All right. Everything looks good. I don't know what happened. The encoder looks like it's bringing itself back together, and so we'll go ahead and we'll go with it. All right. Jesus Christ. Okay. So now, oh, I see that there is an actual issue. Okay. If I can't fix this in like 15 seconds, I'm just gonna go without it. I don't know why it's not working, but I guess it is what it is. Can I Can I click back on this, right? And let me pull up the task manager. Oh no. Oh no. My thing is frizzing out hard. It's frizzing out hard. Well, that's not good. The stream is working, but the interface and everything just died. Interface and all just died. Trying to like disable something. Man. Okay. Let me not touch anything else and hope that it eventually fixes itself someday without crashing my OBS. But my OBS may crash someday. So let's just ignore it. And actually, let's just pretend like we're just doing something else. Okay. So now for some good old politicking. All right. So let's actually talk about this Russia prison exchange that I wanted to actually go through. So if there was ever a doubt in your mind that Joe Biden was not doing his thing in restoring our prestige, our leadership role in this place we called planet Earth, you don't have to look any further than this prison exchange. When I was reading about this prison exchange, or when I read or heard about it, and they did just a little bit of just reading, I was just godsmacked. Because let me tell y'all something, okay? Prisoner exchanges, like deals, the prison exchanges are essentially deals, right? Like it's I give you something, you give me something, right? That's the basis for any deal. Okay, prisoner exchanges, especially, right? Israel Hamas, right? You know, like you get like some really hard deals, right? Where like Israel got to give up a bunch of Hamas captives or whatever in order to get just a handful of the Israeli like hostages, right? There's like lots of like hard deals to be made sometimes, but at the end of the day, that key premise, remember this, okay? That key premise, I give you, you give me. Okay. Now, why do I think this right here, this prisoner exchange deal that Biden did, just, my God, I'm surprised nobody isn't talking about it, because this proves that Trump really just wasn't worth much of anything when he was president. Trump would never have been able to pull this off like in the manner in which this was done. This prisoner exchange was done between the United States and Russia. And you know who we gave? We gave a Russian prisoner from Germany. Okay? I want to say that again. We gave a Russian prisoner from Germany. So we didn't even have the person. Germany did. And so what did the German chancellor do? Right? The German chancellor came on a record and said, hey, look, for you, Biden, I do this. Okay? He gave up a Russian prisoner so we could get our American citizens back. That is probably the coldest thing I have ever seen in foreign negotiations ever, where we didn't even give up anything. We actually was able to work out something with Germany, and Germany, respecting our status, right? Knowing that we're solid allies, because damn well if it was Trump, he wouldn't do shit. He ain't doing shit for Trump, right? Ain't nobody doing much of anything for Trump, right? Because Trump ain't really worth nothing. He said, I'm going to give up this prisoner for you. That's some gangster stuff right there. That right there, that is truly some gangster stuff right there. And my OBS is stabilized at long last. Okay. My OBS has stabilized, and okay. Now I can just put it back, right? Yeah, I should be able to just actually just put this right back, and it will hopefully work without no issue. Yeah. So I click back on this. Okay. I just hope it just doesn't break. And there we go. Okay, cool. So we got that back. Okay, I can bring this down, and I just Just need to pray. Well, nothing else happens. All right. Now getting back to it. Bro, that prison exchange. Bro, does this article have the statement in it? Please have the statement. Let me see here. United States and Russia completed their biggest prison swap in post-Soviet history on Thursday, with Moscow releasing journalists, blah, 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 and fellow American, along with dissidents, including this person, and a multinational deal that set 2,000 people free. Gershon Fitzwilliam and blah, 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 journalists with dual U.S. Russian citizenship arrived on American soil shortly before midnight for a joyful reunion with their families. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris also were at the Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. Blah, 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 blah. The trade unfolded despite relations between Washington and Moscow being at their lowest point since the Cold War, after Russia invaded Ukraine. Negotiators and back-channel talks at one point explored an exchange involving Russian opposition leader, this person, but after his death in February, ultimately stitched together a 24-person deal that requires significant concessions from European allies, including the release of a Russian assassin, and secured freedom for a cluster of journalists, suspected spies, political prisoners, and others. Biden trumpeted the exchange, by far the largest in a series of swaps with Russia, as a diplomatic feat, while welcoming the families back home to the White House. But the deal, like others, reflected an innate imbalance. The U.S. and allies gave up Russians charged or convicted of serious crimes in exchange for Russia releasing journalists, dissidents, and other imprisoned by the country's highly politicized legal system on charges seen by the West as trumped up. Also, too, hey, look, guys, let me tell y'all something. Anybody planning on traveling to these countries, Russia, I don't think China really does stupid stuff like that, but I wouldn't go there. North Korea, especially. Excuse me, Iran, probably not, but I'd rather be on the safe side. Why are you traveling to these countries? Why? There has been so many instances where they lock these people up because they either got some drugs on them, which, I mean, unless the person says, actually comes out and says that, yeah, they had it, right? Either drugs on them or suspected espionage. It's always one of those two things. And if you're not a drug person, right, so you don't have to worry about that, you have to worry about being framed for espionage. So why go there? Because if you go there for whatever it is, you're sitting there, family, whatever, all the Russians do is just sit there and be like, all right, who's in our country today that happens to be American citizen? Oh, him, and her. All right. Yep. You already know what to do. Plant the evidence. Wait for them to try to flee or whatever. Snatch them up. Give them the fake court treatment. Let the judge know we got these people. Just tell them to make them guilty, right? And then we'll begin negotiations with the U.S. that'll take a couple of years, right? That's how I honestly see how these things kind of go. I don't know why my translator keeps dying. Isn't it? It's just wild to me. I don't know why. Can I just hide it out? Yeah, I'm gonna just hide it out and maybe put it back on later. Oh, look at that. Our OBS froze yet again. So, all right, well, let's get back to it now. I don't know why when it's just disabling I don't know why OBS is just giving me so much problems. Anyway, let's get back to it, right? But yeah, the point of the story is just that, please, for the love of God, if you're don't travel to these countries. There's no I don't care if you had family, if you're a refugee or whatever. If you go over there, it's literally just flipping a coin on whether you're just gonna be one of those people that get wrapped up in it. Okay, you ain't proven anything. In a foreign country's court system, not in a hostile foreign country's court system. Absolutely not. So I don't know what it is they do. Excuse me. I really don't know what it is they do, but whatever it is, they're gonna need to figure it out. If you find yourself caught up in there, and you just better pray that you're just one of those people that get lucky, because these people that came back, if I'm not mistaken, they were prisoners They were prisoners back on the Trump's era. So you might be over there for quite a bit of time. I hope you got people to take care of your affairs. You got any credit cards you needed to pay or something? They need loans or whatever. That stuff sucks, you know. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I find this prison exchange to be just amazing, amazing stuff, you know. Oh yeah, and then of course, like, then Russia with the Ukraine invasion, right? Don't go there. Like, just don't do it. Don't go there. Don't go to North Korea, right? I mean, you could go to Israel if you want, right? It'd be just your luck, because while that Iron Dome does block a lot of rockets coming through, it don't block every one of them. And it'd be just your luck. You just happen to be that one person that's in that wrong spot that it just so happened that rocket get through. And you get caught lacking by a rocket. I mean, then, you know, it is what it is. But I wouldn't go there either, you know. And then, like, I actually honestly do never really hear too much about Iran. I think Iran is actually, like, fairly chill for the most part. I think most people just go there for, like, either science or, like, religion purposes anyway. So it's just whatever there. But yeah, like this prison exchange thing, man. This prison exchange thing, I think, was just amazing. I think it truly was amazing. This guy why did they give this man this face? Why did they tell him to, like, hold on, let's just take your photo one more time so you don't look like you was actually, like, imprisoned for a real reason? This is crazy. Why did they do this to this man? She's like borderline, but him, I don't know why they let this man have that face. That photo, like, yeah, I'm about to get back to selling some arms, some illegal weapons or something crazy. You know, I know he wasn't, like, you know, that kind of person, but that's just like what that photo, the vibes that photo just gives, you know. While the rest of these people look wholesome, this person just looked like he's just like out of it. Go ahead and kill that. But yeah, that Russian president thing was just so amazing. All right, we're gonna look at one more thing, and then we're actually just probably gonna watch that video. You know, we'll start off with a BitChute video. One more thing, right? I'm interested in polls. Let's actually see what polls are looking like for Harris, because like I said, guys, look, I'm sorry, unless something crazy happens, Kamala Harris is gonna win. I just hope y'all know that. This woman is. There's no way my stream died. Did my stream just die? Ain't no way. What happened? Wait, hold on. I was about to say. I was like, hold on. I know my stream didn't just die. I saw the offline thing for a second. I was like, hold on. Probably just like a drop. What is it? Drop connection or something? It was something wild. But why is hold on. I gotta look at one thing real quick. Oh, I see. So that's what it's doing over there. Can I look at this? And I didn't know that was doing that. Then my other thing is like 3,000. That's crazy. I wonder, will it let me change it? Will it let me change it without breaking nothing? Hold on. I'm just going to do one quick change. It'd be really cool if it let me change the bitrate on the fly. Does it go through with no problem? Let's see. Does it go through without no problem? I mean, it allegedly goes through without a problem. Okay. Well, let's just hope. Let me exit here. And yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it looks good to me. So let me just repause this video and then I guess we're good. Oh yeah, there we go. See, now I see the KBs. KBs sure to jump right back up. All right. Let's actually get some polls now. Let's get some polls into this. Let's see. So 9 hours ago, 2024 U.S. presidential polls. Harris makes gains on Trump and national. Guys, look, I'm trying to tell y'all, she's gonna win this presidency. I'm sorry. Ooh, look at that. Look at that beautiful number. 45 to 48. On 21 July, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race. Damn, it was 21 July, so that was like literally a month ago, in like a couple of days. This historic move changed the landscape of the election. And how many felt about the race as the election enters its final weeks. Guardian US is averaging national polls to see how the two candidates are faring. We will update our averages once a week or more if there is major news. So, latest analysis. For months, Joe Biden trailed Donald Trump in national polls by a narrow margin. After the disastrous debate performance in the late July, Biden withdrew from the race. In a span of a few days, he endorsed Kamala Harris, and Democrats across the nation lined up behind the new nominee. A combination of the Democrats' fresh energy and J.D. Vance's poor performance on the campaign trail after he was announced as the Republican vice president nominee saw the polls swing in the Democrats' favor. By August, Harris began polling above Trump for the first time in a race. Next week, we'll see the first polls conducted after Harris was named the official nominee at the Democrat National Convention, and we're likely to see further uptick in the poll numbers for Democrats. But the election is still weeks away, with more debates and potentially poll shifting moments to come. Thought I heard something. Let's see. Well, stream got cooked. Oh yeah. I think it's good now though, right? I hope it. Let me do a quick check. I'm gonna do a quick check and all. Wow. Wait, what happened? How? This is crazy. Why is it? Okay, well there we go. It's snapping back on. Wait. Why is it? Oh, don't tell me. No, it can't be. Bit rate. Why is it? Right? All right, fine. I don't know why. Bro, I don't know. But okay. I can fix that real quick. Really quick. That's saying that it's this. I don't know. Maybe it could be a temporary setting thing. All right. Well, hopefully that brings it back. Twitch. I need to figure out what the hell's going on with this. Why is Twitch? Well, I mean, I was gonna say, like, if I'm just gonna have it at 8, I might as well just go ahead and, yeah, might as well just go ahead and just make it, just force it to just get, oh, but you know, resolution, hold on, we're doing something real quick here. Jesus Christ. Bro, we just can't win. YouTube, bro. It's amazing that YouTube is just leaps and bounds, apparently, from these other platforms. It's not even a dedicated streaming platform. That's what's so crazy about it. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm hoping we're good for a good bit now. I don't know why it just blazed out on me like that. Okay. Let me just let me just bring it down like right here. And I don't know. You should have just moved with it. I don't know what you got going on. But okay. Wow. So Kick is I guess the one survivor. But Twitch, on the other hand, hold on, I'm just stopping the Twitch real quick and then just gonna restart it. Cause I don't know what Twitch got going on, but yeah, even the Twitch encoder is like actually just frizzing out. All right, well, I guess Okay, I guess whenever Twitch actually just gets back. But anyway, let's keep on going, all right? So, let's see. So, Trump Harris.
Hey guys. We have a new kick follower.
Hi, Demi Sucks. Glad you're joining us. Hold on. Let me. Okay. Okay, cool. It stopped. Now let's bring it back. Right. So brought it back. And let's see now if we can get it back up, right? And it looks like it's back up. Cool. Okay. Cool. So Twitch is back up now. All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's continue now. So anyway, getting back to it, right? So with these polls, so yeah, so it started off with what? Trump 44. Well, first off, right, when Biden was actually there, Biden was like just like only like 1, 2, maybe 3 points behind Trump. And so now it's really nice to see that Harris, right, which she started off with Biden's like disadvantage as far as like just the 1-2 percentage points, and then she started just clawing like that gap just slowly. 48 to 45 is just amazing. 48 to 45. If it can stay just like that, maybe 1 or 2 percentage points like more in her favor, it's gonna be a blowout. Pause. Okay, but she's gonna just crush this man on election day, you know, which is just gonna be phenomenal. Like that's what we really need. We need it to be unquestionable, a blowout, a wipeout. I'm just a wipeout for Harris winning the election to completely shut down Trump, right? Because if it's just like by a significant margin on election day, right, before all of the votes are even counted, right, if it's just that significant that she just beat him, that's it. It's a done deal. There won't be no other issues, right? And then even if it's close, and then because it still takes a day or two to count all of the 80, 90, however many millions of votes, right, that are in the election. If it's close and then like after the final counts, right, she sits there and she wins. The only thing we just have to sit there and we'll worry about is just like the schemes again. But this time, right, Trump isn't president of the United States anymore, right? So we don't have to worry about him trying to use the presidential powers to sit there and push his elector scheme like he did when he was president. Right, so all we would just need to worry about is just anything sort of resembling a January 6th event again, right? Which Biden will be able to be, he'll be all over that because like he wouldn't take no chances. He'll have the National Guard, you know, right there on the spot, or like all of the fortifications and what. All that'll be already there, like on the spot. And then again, like we already took out a lot of the the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. We already took out a lot of like those head people, so they'd be really retarded to sit there and try to do something like that again. But we're already on them, right? We already know how to fortify the Capitol. I don't actually think anything like January 6th to happen again, but I do think there are people that might try. You know, then they just need to just be prosecuted to the fullest extent should they break any laws. So we need a wipeout. We need a wipeout Harris, and it's looking like Harris might be able to do it. We'll see. Only time will tell. Nothing crazy can happen these next couple of weeks. We only got a couple of weeks left. As a matter of fact, hold on. We're in the weekend of this. We got one more week in just August. We got one more week in August, and we're already going to be in September. This is wild. We're already going to be in September, October, November, and then, well, 2 months because it's the first week of November, right? November 3rd or November 5th, one of those 2 days, right? Is election day. Bro, it's going to be quick, and it is going to be just epic. I don't care who the president is, just fix the economy. Yep. Hey, economy's been has been going up. Let's actually look and see. So polls look like they're trending in Harris' favor. Let's look at the state of the U.S. economy, right? Let's see. You know that I don't know if you saw the DNC. I don't know if you saw the DNC thing, the convention or whatever. Oh, but did what's that president's name? Bill Clinton. Oh, did Bill Clinton sit there and drop a bomb on him, bro? Because I actually sat there and researched it when he said it, because I was like, there's no way what Bill Clinton said was true. And sure enough, right, there's like some slight caveats to it if you wanted to sit there and nitpick at like, oh, well, this is before COVID or this and that, right? But even when you adjusted for that, like the main message was the same. Man, Democrats have crushed the Republicans on job creation. Period. Hands down. It's just like all the data is there. They have crushed the Republicans on job creation. It's crazy. Bill Clinton must be crazy. Bill Clinton may very well be crazy. But let's do U.S. economy now. Let's actually see what comes up on U.S. economy. But my God, bro, like we have so much we need to be able to do. My party needs to stop, like drop all these conspiracy things that you got going on and just focus on debt and education. If we could just get those two things in line, I'm telling you, everything else will fall in place. Debt and education. U.S. Oh yeah, what the hell was I about to spell? Okay, U.S. economy. Let's go. Job reports revision stoke U.S. economy debate. Let's see what we got here. And let me click on the news button here. Job reports revision stokes. Oh yeah, I heard that they also had to do a quick revision. Let's see. So job growth in the U.S. appears to have been weaker than previously understood last year. The Labor Department said Wednesday in an update that inflamed an already heated debate about the state of the U.S. economy. The Labor Department said its latest data suggested employers added about 818,000 fewer jobs than previously estimated over the 12 months prior to March. Wait, so over 12 months, we did 800,000 less jobs. The revision, which is preliminary, which reduced the total number of jobs created during that time by about 30% compared with previous estimates, the biggest such update since 2009. In an ordinary year, the publication of the new estimate would be marked by only the nerdiest of economic forecasters, but months before a presidential election, it quickly became a political fodder. What did the report say? The new estimates suggest monthly job growth about 174,000 instead of the roughly 240,000 previously understood. Most sectors were hit by downward revisions, including information, media, and tech, among other areas. What do you say? No, I never dropped the conspiracy. Conspiracy is basically the people's hammer. Calling out lies is important. Well, if you're going to call out lies, conspiracy is cool to call out lies, but you got to have the data to back it up, because some people just take it too far, like the school shooting guy. I can't, bro. Is it really just getting that late that I'm just like the names that should just be popping up to me? They're just leaving me at the moment. If you don't have the evidence, you shouldn't be just like even dabbling in it, right? I'm still waiting on my magneto powers, right? The COVID vaccine was supposed to give me my magneto powers, right? After getting the virus from the 5G towers, right? I was expecting it, and I still have not gotten my magneto powers. I'm sorry. It's just those things. But let's see here. So most sectors, we read that already. That means job growth in the period was even more dependent on government and education such healthcare than we thought. Government, education, healthcare hiring was still strong, but less than that needed to keep up with growth in the working age population. At the end of the day, the revisions implied that the total number of jobs in the U.S. is just 0.5% smaller than previously thought. I'm sorry. Economy is just it's crazy, because when you read that article, I would understand if you was jumping back and forth between, well, is the economy doing good or is it not? Are we being fed stuff and then it turns out this is not the case? Or is it that we just, originally thought it was this and it was just slightly off? And so then it just completes right here at just saying that it's just 0.5% smaller than we previously thought. Economic reporting is just always just a massive pain. That's why I never try to fix fixated too much on it, because if you think about it, job creation really doesn't matter to you unless you're actively in the job market, right? If you're happy with your job, right, and you're stable and you're not trying to move or nothing, right, then like you honestly, it doesn't matter to you if there's jobs being made or not. And then if anything, right, the there could be potential benefits to that, right? If that could work both ways. If a lot of jobs are being created, then whenever you want to sit there and you want to bounce, whenever you do decide to bounce, you can just be like, hey, let me just see what's on the job market, right? And if there's not that many jobs like sitting there and being created, right, that means the competition is getting really fierce. So that means now companies are sitting there doing everything they can to try and keep people, especially like the more complex jobs that like, sit there and deal with any production related systems or things like that, where like any job where like there is like a significant training period for you to like actually get good at your job. Like companies especially hate that. They especially hate losing somebody that they spent like, a year or 2 years with, that, got a good understanding of the products, the systems or whatever, and then they just then they just peace out, right? So then like there's some good negotiating power with you, because like if the job market's tight, then companies are probably going to sit there and try to vie for the best talent. And then again, that could also probably work the other way too, right? A lot of jobs, people are trying to get, then again, they just might be wanting to fill a body more than anything. But, most companies, I'm sure, probably want to try to get the best. So try to lure the best. But with that being said, the economy stuff is just like more or less a bit harder to really track with all of the complicated ways that we track the economy. But I'd probably say like probably the most important thing is probably inflation. You got inflation and then maybe wage growth, which I don't even know like how much that really actually impacts you, because for most like decent jobs, right, you already have a fixed income, a salary or whatever, and like your wage increase, it's not like they're just going to be like, okay, ranting out the blue, like, hey, inflation, right, this is the month we're just going to decide to just arbitrarily raise your salary a few percentage points. Usually like you're negotiating that, or you're waiting for like an annual time after you've been hired. So from what I've seen, I could be totally wrong on this, right? Maybe there's just some weird job you could have where like they just like all of a sudden out the blue that they just randomly just raise your income or whatever. But I always wondered like how that whole average income thing that they track in the economy and these economy reports, how that actually translates into real world jobs, because I don't ever hear anybody ever talking about like anything like that unless it's an annual review or a negotiated price increase, right? Which is usually tied to annual review, right? Because like if you just got a raise like 2 months ago, you're not negotiating another raise on the third month. Like that's not a thing. I haven't heard of it at least. But yeah. So let's us go back. So it looks like, yeah, so it's just all about the same thing, right? And this is like over a year. So from 23 to 2024. Oh, that's right. Because the government, now I understand a little bit more. Yeah. The reason this is coming out the way it's coming out is because the government's fiscal year is in October. So they're wrapping up. They're getting ready to actually wrap up. So September is the very last month before they start the 2025 fiscal year, which is October, which would be in October 2024. So that's why like this report is coming out the way it is, because they're actually getting ready to like actually stop the scale, or stop the watch. So okay, now I'm glad I actually remember that. And keep in mind too, this is another thing too. It looks like the Fed's also going to be dropping interest rates. So look, now is probably going to be, especially if Harris wins, now is probably going to be the time. Well, maybe we'll see. I would say with 60-ish% certainty that now would probably be the time to start looking at houses for sure. If you can find a really good house, right, that you'd be willing to get? Because if interest rates are going to start dropping, you know, you can secure one now. You'll have a elevated interest rate, but after a year, because I think you have to wait a year before you can refinance it. After a year, you'll be able to refinance it for the lower, for whatever lower interest rate, and you don't have to worry about getting bought out. Right? Because most people, in my mind, right, I could be wrong with this. Most people were waiting for interest rates to start dropping or to start coming down before they start making their big purchases, like, you know, buying homes and stuff like that. So if you want to potentially snag, you know, a good house that you don't want to get taken from you once interest rates do start dropping, you would secure it now with the hope that the interest rates are going to drop and drop steadily over the next year, right? Because I think they do interest rate changes like at most like what, three times a year, I think, maybe like something like that, right? So if they was dropping it even like just even like half a percentage point, which would be really nice, but like, you know, quarter to a half percentage point, right? We're talking that if they kept dropping, we'd be from like 7% to like getting close to like 5, like potentially like 5.5. So if you're in a position to start eyeing a home and you really want to make sure that it doesn't get taken from you, I'd start considering maybe getting it now. Now, the flip side of that, because I'll give you the other side of that argument. If Harris does get to implement the things that she say she wanted to do, which was like, it'd be amazing if she does actually get this to come through, the $24,000 credit for first-time home buyers and the building of houses. Let me close this ad, man. That it'll work out really well for you to just hold off and wait, especially if you haven't bought a home before. I haven't bought a home before, but you best believe I'm waiting till sometime next year, just because I'm also not in a position to buy a home right now anyway. Because if I saw something I really wanted, I might actually get it like now, but I don't have that position, so I can't do it. But like, if next year she gets the $24,000 credit and she starts mass building homes, you know, like that to help with the supply and demand thing, that'll be wonderful. Those are the ones you gotta really you want to really just lock down and try to like watch for. You got to figure out what state you're trying to you're trying to live in, and you want to try to make sure that however they're going about building them houses, that you could be one of the first ones to get it. Because the one thing I just worry about is like companies trying to just come through and obviously like buy up all those homes, which I would hope that they have some mechanism in place to prevent that, and so that actual just regular people can just actually purchase homes and not just like, you know, property managers sitting there and sucking up all the homes because they got the capital to just buy multiple homes all in one go. So that's just one thing to just keep in mind. But it would be really nice if you can get your $24,000 credit and you can get a brand new home. A brand new home would be amazing, right? Because now you don't. One of the things that always kills people for when they buy a home is if the home is shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't do a good enough inspection, there's something wrong with the foundation. There's termites. It got bad wiring, right? So now you got to sit there and do that. There's something wrong with the AC system. And you know, you did 2 revisions of fixing it. Then you just realized the whole system is bad. So you got to replace the entire system, right? Or the roof is bad. You got to replace the roof. Like you're talking like you'll lose money. You can lose a lot of money really fast in a home if there's something wrong with it. If you can get a brand new home, fantastic, right? Because I want to say there's some type of warranty, and I'd imagine for brand new homes, if not the home itself, at least the appliances in it. So, because that'd be one of the things that costs a lot of money, you know, the heating system, right? AC system, those will suck up your money real quick. So, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the Feds dropping interest rates in September. And then if Harris wins in November, please, Harris wins in November and she wins by a wide enough margin, Trump and our party poofs, right? And then we can hopefully, this will be another another big wish here. Hopefully we're able to rebuild the party with real people again, right? With real, you know, adherence to policies and what's actually good for America. And we can actually then move forward the right way instead of like where we've been going since Trump came into office. But with that being said, Harris wins, and you know she's able to enact all the things she enacted. So assuming that the House and the Senate flips, well, not the Senate because we technically have Senate, but there's more seats in the Senate for the Democrats, right? And the House gets the seats, right? She's able to do the things that she wants to do, and that would translate to a lot of good things for us, and we'll be able to get going. And then hopefully after that, the Republican Party is rebuilt, and we actually have sane people again who actually care about the things that the Democrats don't necessarily care about, and then we can get back to actually doing what we got to do. So that's what I'm hoping for. So with that being said, that's it on that economy little piece of it. Let's actually now look at this CIA thing, because you know something, we have not done a conspiracy thing in quite a bit actually. So and look at the time. Yep, 1:25 in the morning. Yeah, so we actually how long is this video? Let me see.
Watch what protein shakes do to your body.
Good old BitChute.
Got almond butter.
22 minutes. That's it. Oh yeah. So after this, then we might drop off. Might likely drop off. Let me actually just read about the thingamabob here first, and then we'll go from there. Can I? Oh, you know what? I don't have the Power Toys on. Is that what it is? Because I don't have Power Toys. Hold on. Power Toys, right? Am I tripping? Why is it not giving me my Power Toys application? Is it really not? No, it's on here. It's got to be on here. Stop lying to me. Power Toys. I see it right here. So why is it not working? Why is it acting like it's not even installed? It's acting like it's not even installed. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. That's so strange. Why was it acting like it wasn't even installed? Right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I like the Power Toys because you can actually manually. Okay, I thought you could. Let me click here. Do I need to click on the no? Oh, of course, because I'm retarded. That's why it's not working, because I'm not on a laptop no more. I'm on a desktop computer, right? My laptop's doing the streaming work. My desktop is what's doing it, and I don't have Power Toys running on the desktop. So that's what we need. We need Power Toys to. Nope, not Power Options. Power Toys. Hold on. This is the whole reason why I installed this mofo, was to make my life a little bit easier. Okay, now let's try this. Now if I hold these three buttons and press this, yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'll go like that, and should be able to. Oh, I can just go like this, right? Yeah, see, that works. Go like this. And close this here. I'm gonna get these, because when the video starts playing, I'm gonna get my game running, and then we'll be watching the video for sure. Is it not? Oh yeah. Gotta unplug, plug back in. Okay. Yep. Sorry. All right. This looks like this is good. Yep, start you now so that you're already ready. Let's read this, then we'll watch the video, and then that'll be more or less kind of it for today. And then we'll figure out what we're doing tomorrow. Let me move you over here. I guess. Right. Oh, cool. You don't even cover a lot of the screen anymore. Interesting. Can I move you like this then? Move you down. Yep. Move you down. And come on. Yep. There we go. And then move you like this. All right. Now let's go ahead. Let's see. So what's this MK Ultra thing about? And see, I called it, right? Before the 1960s. Before the 1970s. 1960s, really. All right. I tell you, the government was doing some really shady things. I think it wasn't around the 1970s. Like the Tuskegee experiment. I just want to let me do a quick Google search on that real quick, right? Tuskegee experiment. When was this? This was, Yeah, see, this is ended in the 1972. I'm telling you, I'm telling ya, before 1970s, bro, the government was just on like some other stuff, like the organizations. I don't know what the hell they had going on. I was listening to this lady's testimony. She seems honest. Okay, well, we're going to find out. All right, so let's see. So MK Ultra. Project MK Ultra was an illegal human experiments program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogation to weaken individuals and force concessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. Oh yeah, I think I actually came across something like this before, like in a past reading. It began in 1953. Let me just make sure I'm not gonna. Okay, cool. Began in 1953 and was halted in 1973. And see, this is around the time of this Tuskegee experiment. That's crazy. MK Ultra used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions, such as the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD and other chemicals, without the subject's consent. Additionally, other methods beyond chemical compounds were used, including electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, Jesus Christ, and other forms of torture. MK Ultra was preceded by Project Artichoke. It was organized through the CIA's official scientific intelligence, according with the United States Army Biological Warfare Laboratories. Now, to be fair, right? I think like what? This is 1953. If you think about it, right, World War II like just recently ended. So 1945, and that was the creation of nuclear weapons. And then we had the Cold War, right? So 1945, World War II ends, and nuclear weapons are just created. And then you had the Cold War, right? Which that was like, 2 years. Okay, so 2 years after that, and then didn't into 1991. So then it was just like, okay, right? I can see like kind of the purpose behind it, especially from CIA's point of view, because if you could find a magical drug that can get people to spill secrets, that could literally mean like the life or death difference between like civilization collapse in a period where like nuclear weapons are starting to get proliferated. And we got like two big nations just pointing them at each other for a long time. So I kind of get it. That's my thoughts behind it thus far, but we'll see. Let's see. So where was I? The program engaged in illegal activities, including the use of U.S. and Canadian citizens. Damn. As unwitting test subjects. MK Ultra's scope was broad, with activities carried out under the guise of research at more than 80 institutions, aside from the military, including colleges, universities, hospitals, prisons. Prisons were getting like just pegged back then, and pharmaceutical companies. Ugh. The CIA operated using front organizations, although some top officials at these institutions were aware of the CIA's involvement. Of course they were. MK Ultra was revealed to the public in 1975, because this was also around the time the Tuskegee thing kind of blew up, by the Church Committee of the United States Congress and General Ford's United States President's Commissions on CIA Activities within the United States and Rockefeller Commission. Investigative efforts were hampered by CIA Director Person order that all MK Ultra files be destroyed in 1973. The Church Committee and well, it's kind of crazy that that man destroyed the files. Interesting. The Church Committee and blah 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 commission investigations relied on the sworn testimony of direct participants and on the small number of documents that survived Helm's order. In 1977, the Freedom of Information Act requested and uncovered a catch of 20,000 documents relating to MK Ultra, which led to Senate hearings. Some surviving information about MK Ultra was declassified in 2001. Yeah, the government. Let's see. Yeah, the government will probably create a new playbook. It's not working anymore. Well, there's too much. The problem is that there's too much surveillance now within the government for stuff like this to be able to happen anymore. Just think of like how much the Republicans are just waiting for something along these lines to just crop up in any shape or fashion while the Democrats control like these parts of the government right now. Like they're waiting for something like that to happen before they just blow the whistle. So I seriously doubt something like this could survive can survive secrecy, right? And then we already saw like, you know, some of the things that cropped up from this point until then with like some of the leaks, right? Where that's the official whistleblowers or the unauthorized leaks that should have been gone through the whistleblower process but wasn't, like Snowden's case, right? Where he dropped all those documents on the surveillance stuff. So like I seriously doubt the government be able to really pull anything like this off anymore. That's why I was saying before the 1970s, all this and probably much more, which is going crazy. And until we get somebody to declassify John F. K's assassination and Martin Luther King's assassination, because I'm telling you, there's no good reasons why those kind of things to be classified, unless insert whatever conspiracy you want to add there, because that's actually like a legitimate thing, right? Because there's no reason that, you know, the death of like 2 U.S. citizens, especially with very stark statuses, especially one being the president, should be classified. No reason at all, right? That's like saying, like, if could you imagine? I want think of it like this, right? The assassination attempt on Trump. Imagine the assassination attempt on Trump actually was successful and a man died, right? And then the government was going to go ahead and classify the whole thing. There would be a tremendous uproar. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why like this kind of stuff, it would not survive today's like government structure anymore. It's just impossible. There's no way in hell the Republicans would at all allow anything like that to ever happen. The classification of Trump's assassination event, oh, absolutely not. No, they be all over that for sure. Let's see. Let's get this background. Ooh, this is a big boy. Okay, we're gonna read like just a couple of more, and then we're gonna look into the video. So let's see. Background. Origin of the project. During the 1940s, Nazi scientists. See, I knew it. See, we're talking World War II. Nazi scientists working in concentration camps of blah, 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 and blah, 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 conducted interrogation experiments on human subjects. Substances such as barbiturates, morphine derivatives, probably crazy, and hallucinogens such as mescaline were employed in experiments conducted on Polish, Czechs, Jewish, Soviet, and other nationalities, prisoners of war, which aimed to develop a true serum, which would, in the words of one laboratory assistant to the child scientist, this person, eliminate the will of the person examined. American historian, blah, 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 argues that the CIA project was a continuation of these earlier Nazi experiments, citing the numerous German scientists who were hired to work for the U.S. as part of Operation Paperclip. What the hell is Operation Paperclip? Let's just get a quick look at what the hell that was. Let's see. Operation Paperclip was a secret United States intelligence program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians were taken from former Nazi Germany to the U.S. for government employment after the end of World War II in Europe. Oh, okay. So we hired these people. That's kind of stupid. Well, I guess the Germans did like have like some really good military machinery that they developed before like we did. So I guess sort of. But like if you thought for one moment that these mofos won't then just like taking like whatever intelligence from us and sending it back to whoever, like you're out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind. This was a stupid I personally think this was a stupid idea without like some really strong safeguards, which since we're talking about back then, there weren't no such safeguards like we have now with surveillance and being able to monitor traffic and whatnot. Let's see. Operation Paperclip was hiring Nazi scientists. Yeah, so that's just kind of crazy though. That's kind of crazy. But I guess looking back at it, back at those times. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, man, sniffles. Looking back at it, I guess, you know, I mean, it was the best thing he had at the time, so I guess it makes sense to do it. But like in today's terms, this would be a horrible idea. So, yeah, no, it's just saying, like back then it was like a really good idea. I had to like remind myself I got to look at it at back in the day lenses and not today's lenses. Today's lenses would be crazy to do something like that without serious lockdown. You gotta really lock that stuff down if you're gonna sit there. You're gonna employ the enemy. That's like saying that, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hire some Iranian scientists to come work for our nuclear facilities because the Iranians might have discovered like how to operate a nuclear plant a little bit more efficient or this and that, and not imagine for 1 second that they're not going to try to steal any type of nuclear secrets to send back to Iran. Like you're crazy if you don't think that's going to happen. So, but you know, this is back in the day times, right? That they doing this. So I gotta keep that in mind. Okay. American interest in drug-related interrogation experiments began in 1943 when the Office of Strategic Services began developing a truth drug that would produce uninhibited truthfulness in an interrogated person. In 1947, the United States Navy initiated Project Chatter, an interrogation program which saw the first testing of lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD. Oh, so that's LSD. So that's what LSD is on human subjects. Jesus Christ. In 1950s, the CIA, under the direction of General this person, initiated a series of interrogation projects involving human subjects, beginning with the launch of Project Bluebird, officially renamed Project Artichoke on August 20, 1951. Directed and overseen by the Brigadier General, the objective of Artichoke was to determine whether an individual could be made to involuntarily perform an act of attempted assassination. Morphine, mescaline, and LSD were all administered on unknowing CIA agents in a... Oh my God, bro. If you just imagine, like, this is why, like, it makes sense to me why, like, certain jobs, like, being an FBI agent that sits there that works the field, or being a Secret Service agent that has to sit there and put your body in front of bullets when the president or whoever you're protecting is getting shot at. Like, these are just jobs like I don't know how regular people would ever want to have. Whenever I see an opening for a special agent for the FBI, the first thing that actually comes to my mind is that, okay, a special agent just got knocked off somewhere, right? He was in whatever place, whether he was like doing some deep undercover drug stuff or whatever, and he got popped. So now we got a new opening for a special agent for whoever wants to take that one. It's crazy. But bro, they're doing this on the CIA agents. In an attempt to produce amnesia in the subjects, is this so that, wait, so the intent was that if they were to get in danger of being captured, they could just pop a pill and then like they'll actually have legitimate amnesia, so it wouldn't matter no matter how much torturing that they would go through, they legitimately don't know because they have amnesia. That's smart, but that's crazy, because I don't even know if that's even reversible or anything like that. Yeah, making Manchurian candidates so they turn off. Jesus, it's terrible. Let's see. Project Artichoke aimed to employ certain viruses such as dengue fever as potential incapacitating agents. Dengue fever, right, was what exactly? Stop getting in my way. Is a mosquito-borne disease caused by dengue virus, prevalent in tropical and subtropical areas. It is frequently asymptomatic. Its symptoms appear, they typically begin 3 to 14 days after infection. They may include high fever, blah, 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 all these different things. Recovery takes 2 to 7 days. In a small proportion of cases, the disease develops into severe dengue, which is known as dengue hemorrhagic. Oof, that sounds terrible. With bleeding, low levels of blood plasma leakage, and dangerous low blood pressure. That sounds horrible. What the hell? Well, as an incapacitating agent, that's stupid. Well, I guess maybe because they didn't understand the virus all that well. Because if it takes that long, then it wouldn't work very well as an incapacitating agent, right? Because like it would take an amount of time, and then like this part right here is only for like a small percentage of cases. So then even if this like happened the next day, there's no guarantee that you would even get this person to even hit this stage of the virus. So it's dark. Don't research what the US does. Oh no, I mean, we obviously know like the US did like all kinds of just crazy things. But man, Let us continue. So, aims and leadership. The project was headed by this person, but began under the other CIA director. That person. Its aim was to develop mind controlling drugs for use against the Soviet bloc in response to alleged Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean use of mind control techniques on U.S. prisoners of war during the Korean War. See, I was right. Like, see, we're talking after World War II, and this is going to be like in that span of like just the whole Cold War era. The CIA wanted to use similar methods on their own captives and was interested in manipulating foreign leaders with such techniques. You know something? Quick question. Do you think that it is okay that if the enemies are doing questionable things to U.S. prisoners, that we should just go ahead and also do questionable things to prisoners of their people in order to potentially extract the same information? In my mind, it's on. And don't get me wrong, it's very immoral and almost for sure illegal. But if you ever get word that like the enemy is sitting there, yeah, all's fair in love and war. If you ever get word that the enemy is sitting there and they're interrogating the ish out of your people to extract information, I don't see why you don't do the same thing. Honestly, right? I'm not about to sit there and abide by the rules if they're not going to sit there and abide by the rules. Now, of course, this is a little different when you got like talking about terrorist groups. So if we're talking about actual like full-fledged nations, honestly, I'd sit there and I would be like, look, it is what it is. Just try to keep it under wraps as best you can, and you start waterboarding or whatever like crazy ish you got going on. Just it is what it is. Because like if it really came down to it, like we're talking about existential crisis, all the restrictions and stuff, all that don't matter no more. Nuclear threat and all that stuff. Oh yeah, that man about to get more than just the business in the dark shadowy room back there. But I think those restrictions should probably just be ignored if we get great intelligence saying that the other people are doing the same thing, which they probably are anyway. I mean, they honestly probably are. But okay, yeah. So I do understand that this Project Ultra, MK Ultra thing was just so we could just try to be able to extract information as easy as possible, whether there's some type of chemical agent or something that would either like really tear somebody up to the point where like they like would just have to divulge because they don't want to suffer no more, or which was probably the real goal of the program, was to sit there and just a drug that could actually just render somebody to just give up the secrets, like Wonder Woman's lasso type of like effect, where like they gotta tell us or they would tell us type of a thing. So that's why hypnosis and stuff that they were trying. It's like, okay, all that makes sense. That's CIA stuff. The Constitution represents goodness. It sure does. All right, let's see what we got here. So let's see, application report. So the 1976 Church Committee report found that the MK Delta program drugs were used primarily as an aid to interrogation, but MK Ultra, MK Delta materials were also used for harassment, discrediting, or disabling purposes. Excuse me. Other research projects: 1964, MK Search was the name given to the continuation of the MK Ultra program. The MK Search program was divided into two projects: the MK Often, MK Chickwit. Funding for MK Search commenced in 1965, and then in 1971, the project was a joint project between these organizations to find new offensive use agents. With the focus of incapacitating agents, its purpose was to develop, test, and evaluate capabilities and convert use of biological, chemical, or radioactive material systems and techniques of producing predictable human behavior and psychological changes in support of highly sensitive operational requirements. So we're talking. Yeah, so now we're getting into like they're getting into like James Bond or Mission Impossible level of operations here, is what it is almost for sure what they were targeting. They're talking about like some like super high level operation where it's like one or two people, and to be able to have the drugs to be able to just like quickly knock somebody out or quickly extract somebody, and to be able to carry out the operation. And then it's an added bonus if you could find something that's has some like really important mental effects that would aid in like your ability to collect information. So cool stuff. Okay, well, so we have a good, decent understanding of what MK Ultra was. I can't believe LSD was created. It was created by the CIA. I love it. And so and then you know, then you get, here goes what is it? War on drugs, right? Because this is where these conspiracies. So here go the origins of where a lot of these conspiracies come from now, right? Because like, where do all these drugs come from? You know, I mean, the government technically were the first ones to make them. I wonder like what happened after that, how the productions work. I took LSD. It was fun. Oh, that's cool. I have not, and I probably won't ever. So we'll see how that plays out in our near future. But let's go ahead and let's look at this video now. So, this one's Project Monarch, testimony against the NWO and the Clinton machine. So yeah, so look, I'll tell you this. Of all the conspiracies and the stuff like this one right here, I wouldn't even consider this a conspiracy, right? Because see, we got documents, right? We got documents. It's not so much as that the CIA is making secret shadowy programs of doing blah, 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 right? We got actual documents that prove it. We got a time period where the purpose and the desire, whoa, my whole microphone fell. Hold on, let me tighten this up. Right, we got a time period where the necessity for something like this was completely understandable. I don't want to necessarily go as far as saying justifiable, but was likely used as a justification back then, right? Because we're talking Cold War era. We're talking whoever could figure out how to get the other person to drop secrets the fastest. Because you got to think, right? We're not talking about situations where this person knows where the nuclear weapons are being transported at before they get launched out against us, and we need to get the information out, right? We're also talking about potentially being used against high valuable targets like the enemy scientists and stuff like that, where we could get them to divulge technological secrets that could put us on edge on being able to either match or counteract the enemy's technological capabilities. So you're talking about a time period, right, where a lot of that stuff was like, highly sought out and desired, because like we were literally in our international war. Okay, let me like loosen this up real quick. I don't know why my microphone is this is like dropping the way it is, but we're going to get this tighten up. Come on. I prefer it like this. It's really not trying to. Hold on, bro. Why is this is like a. And this is where I'd make a Viagra joke, but you give me like 2 minutes. I need to figure out why it's not staying up. Okay. I wish I had I think I do. Don't I have a... Hold on 1 second. I have a whole like clamp thing I can just use to help me tighten this. Oh, but now you're looking good. Well, I'm gonna grab it too to threaten you. All right. If it starts slipping again, I got something for you. Okay. That we'll be able to get that clean up. Delete what? What are we deleting? What happened? What happened? What? The LSD thing? Is that what you're talking about? Delete the LSD thing? That above message? Come here. Realizing that you have there you go. I have deleted it. Realizing that you have done self-incriminating things. Lovely. We're good. Funny. All right, so let's go ahead now. We're going to get into this video. Let me get my game up first.
Let me get my game up. I hear nothing. Why do I hear nothing? See? I can't catch a break to save my life. Okay, that's how audio works. That tells me that it's this here. Do I go back? Let me go to the game. Did the game's not like the game. Oh, it did turn off. Right? Okay. Yeah, I don't need no music. Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that was the case. I will put you up to like 20% though. Yeah. We're looking good now. Okay. Let me get my thing here. Pause that. And now let's get the video.
To carry out my first trial run operation. An enormous quantity of cocaine had been flown in on one of these operations, and I was to deliver it into the neighboring state of Arkansas. By that time, Bill Clinton's drug operation was in full swing. He was governor of Arkansas, and I delivered this cocaine to a remote airport in Ouachita Forest, which I've since identified as Mena Airport. I also delivered a little packet of information and a small quantity of cocaine, a personal stash from J. Bennett Johnston, to Bill Clinton. I delivered it to Bill Clinton, and he cut out 2 lines of the coke, and he did inhale. That certainly wasn't the only time I saw Bill Clinton using cocaine. My sexual experience with Bill Clinton was extremely limited, in spite of the fact that I was a sex slave. It was my experience that Bill Clinton is bisexual, leaning far more towards a homosexual.
Okay. This is nowhere at all where I thought this was going to go. Okay, you actually managed to find me. Managed to find me one that has like a lot more extra stuff baked into it than just the actual project. Okay.
And all I've ever seen him involved in was the homosexual activity, with very limited experience with him myself. Whereas my experience was much more prevalent with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary is also bisexual, leaning more towards a homosexual end, and it was she who accessed my sex programming to fulfill her perversions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
People have all kinds of belief systems, and I'm sure each and every one of you has various and different belief systems as well. Regardless of what your belief system is, it is imperative that you know that these criminals are people. They are within our realm to affect. They need to be held accountable for their actions and their crimes against humanity. It was 1980 and my daughter Kelly was born. She was born directly into the MK Ultra Mind Control Project on a much higher level, a more sophisticated technological level than I was subjected to. In addition to trauma, she was subjected to harmonic mind control programming on NASA installations literally since birth, before her brain even had a chance to form. As soon as Kelly was born, Senator Byrd figured I'd been traumatized enough by that time and ordered that we be transferred back to Nashville, Tennessee to carry out operations during the Reagan administration. But being within the country music industry, we had a second handler. His name was Alex Houston. Alex Houston is a ventriloquist, stage hypnotist in the country music industry. Above all, he carries out criminal covert CIA operations that fund the black budget. And this certainly included bringing in large quantities of cocaine and distributing them through the United States, Canada. He was working at that time and provided a cover for me to be taken throughout the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean for these criminal covert operations. As my handler, he took me to various military and NASA installations for mind control programming for specific operations that I was forced to participate in. These operations that I won't have time to get into tonight are detailed in our book, Transformation of America. And they involve such leaders as the
Almighty.
open to the point where you
And Vice
start
President
becoming
Salinas.
jaded to certain things. The most well-known case was of a Kansas boy who, at age 13,
Hold on. My bad. I literally pressed the wrong button. My mouse jumped across the screen when it shouldn't have. Let me just smallen this a little bit so I don't lose. Yeah, like that. Okay, and let's get back. We can kill this. Come on. And bro, it terminated my thing. Bro, don't tell me that there's no way I just lost. Okay, no, so it kept it. Okay, no, it literally did keep it. Okay. Let me just put it back a few and
time to get into tonight are detailed in our book, Transformation of America. And they involve such leaders as the President of Mexico at that time, De la Madrid, and Vice President Salinas. It was my experience that in 1984, there's a CIA trauma base, near-death trauma center that's located in Lampe, Missouri. It's called the Swiss Villa Amphitheater. And they bring certain involved country music acts in to bring large quantities of cocaine or bring the cocaine out for distribution. Because Lampe, Missouri is just across the Arkansas line and is very much a part of Bill Clinton's cocaine operation. And it was in full swing at that time. It's also interesting to note that this Lampe, Missouri operation is where the country music industry was more conveniently relocated, right there in Branson, so that it would be closer to Clinton's cocaine operations. Lampe, Missouri was a place where I heard George Bush and Bill Clinton talking. From the point of view I had, they certainly were friends, and they didn't recognize any party lines between them. That's something for the, a smoke and mirrors illusion for the public. It's not something they adhere to because they had exactly the same agenda, and that was for bringing in this new world order. I heard George Bush talking at that time. He was talking to Bill Clinton, and I've since photographically recorded it and wrote it verbatim in our book. That when the American people became disillusioned with Republicans leading them into the New World Order, that Bill Clinton, as a Democrat, was going to be put into the office of president. This was decided in 1984. Actually, I'd heard about it even prior to that. But that, as of 1984, they were already discussing it as an absolute fact. It was also discussed in the groundwork for NAFTA that by the time George Bush went into the office of president, that Salinas was going to become president of Mexico, and they together would be bringing in the NAFTA, which was the beginning of New World Order controls. I was forced to participate in.
All right, hold on 1 second. I gotta check my stream here. I don't know why I'm getting alerts that the thing here isn't doing what it needs to. But it says it's smooth. It's saying it's smooth. Video looks smooth. Video looks smooth everywhere else. I don't know why it's saying that it's not doing all that well. We'll have to figure this out another time. As long as it looks good. As long as it looks good. That's all that matters. Okay. The party lines us. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Getting back to it.
The criminal groundwork for NAFTA. The opening of the Juarez-Mexican border to the free trade. Free trade of drugs. Free trade of our nation's children. It's absolutely appalling, the criminal roots of NAFTA. Again, this is detailed in the book. But it's interesting to note that these political moves had already been decided way back when. And as I deprogrammed, and as I was, it was really something to me to find out people didn't know about this stuff. I mean, it was so obvious to me. I didn't realize that people were unaware and had bought into some kind of smoke and mirrors illusions of what was going on and never thought to look behind the scenes to what was really going on. But I understand good people don't think that way. They don't have criminal minds. They don't think to look for that kind of criminal activity. Just like these guys are limited in their thinking by immorality, good people are kind of blinded from that kind of criminal activity until their eyes are open to truth. This criminal activity that was going on at that time, the people that were involved were following directions from George Bush. I don't purport to know it all. I don't purport to know that George Bush is at the very top of all this, but he is as high up as I knew. It was my experience that Ronald Reagan answered to George Bush, not robotically, not under mind control, but willingly, because George Bush was respected for what he knew about bringing in the New World Order. Consider his past. George Bush first began with the United Nations. Then he went on to head our CIA. Then he ran our country through 3 administrations that I'm aware of, the Reagan administration, his administration, and the Clinton administration, because Reagan and Clinton both answered to him. Mexican President de la Madrid answered to him and knew that Salinas was to be coming into power, and Salinas had more influence in Mexico at that time than de la Madrid, that, as far as my experience was concerned. Also, Saudi Arabian King Fahd followed orders from George Bush, as did the Prime Minister of Canada, Brian Mulroney. In 1983, I heard Ronald Reagan and Brian Mulroney.
Hold on, Saudi Arabia was following orders from George Bush too. Okay, now we're getting into like we're getting really up there into the the hell of a stretch kind of territory that this is starting to turn into. And then for none of the documents to come up, none of the leaks, no leaks, right? They just happen to have you know, of all the different leaks and whistleblowers that came about for different various things in the government, they managed to keep those people away from the juicy stuff like this. Okay, I guess we'll see.
Discussing the New World Order. Senator Byrd had acted in the capacity of a pimp and prostituted me to Reagan, and I was present at this White House cocktail party. Now, Ronald Reagan certainly provided a wonderful smoke and mirrors illusion for all of us. For those of you who don't want to believe that he's involved in this, he told you he's an actor. And he did a real good job of it for a long time. That was his role. That's what he was supposed to do. Nevertheless, I heard Ronald Reagan telling Brian Mulroney that he believed the only way to world peace was through mind control of the masses. I know from experience there's no peace of mind under mind control. And I wonder at a world peace where people don't have peace of mind. Mind control, the ramifications of mind control are far-reaching, because I also know that under mind control there's no free thought.
Not a stretch, only a stretch for the public. Yeah, but again, right? My skepticism is always about the this should not be still going, right? My skepticism has always been that to exercise that level of control for so many different parts that are moving, because now not only are we not talking about you're talking about what's probably multiple organizations in the government with multiple different people that could easily turn. I mean, she's sitting there, she's sitting there as a person who was, was a close source to this stuff that could have seen it, right? There could have easily been other people that could have blown this wide open. And then you start adding people in completely different countries with different cultures, different sets of people, their own priorities and stuff like that, that then you also have to sit there and also appease and keep on the locks and hope that they keep their security together, that they don't hire the wrong people that actually that leak their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So and then that also means that you also have to worry about, if you were to do something wrong, that they don't then just blow your own stuff out of the water, like Saudi Arabia. What didn't we just recently? Not by recently, I mean within the last couple of years. Didn't they hire? Didn't they get somebody to assassinate somebody in the U.S. Right? So it was clear, so clearly, like, they didn't hold us in a particular high regard for anything, I'd imagine. So like if they were sitting there and sitting on something where they could have like really messed some stuff up, they could have leveraged that, right? Why is it when Iran attacked Saudi Arabia and Trump decided not to do anything, they didn't just be like, well, all right, bet you don't want to do this, we got this information, we can sit there and threaten you and actually just blow your whole like, you know, country status whatever up. None of that happened. Like, it's just like, to me, I don't know, like the level of control needed to actually to do the things that she's saying is the case. I seriously doubt it. And then in this highly politicized now environment, right, where the Republicans, could you imagine what Bill Clinton was doing all these shady things and a Republican was to get their hands on it? You think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to sit on some information like that, right? Or Matt Gaetz, right? Or like the Means and Ways Committee, the Jim Jordan, right? That just be itching to find stuff like that, right? Oh my God, like nah. Nah, no way. It's so unbelievable. There's no way. Government is pulling everyone in zombie land, so there's no opposition. Point of the government. Actually, the point of the government is putting everyone in zombie land, so there's no opposition. Well, they're doing a really terrible job at it. You know, because right now they ain't got control over much of anything, anywhere for that matter. It seems. So we'll see.
Without free thought, there's no free will. Without God-given free will, there's no soul expression. What kind of a world peace can we have without any free will or any soul expression, without any spirituality? Mind control needs to be exposed in order that people maintain their freedom of thought, in order that people maintain their free will and have that spiritual expression, because of spirituality, when people have soul and spirituality, they're going to be acting in a capacity of love anyway. That is where world peace is, not in mind control. By 1988, I'd been forced to participate in numerous operations against my will, all of which I certainly would never have done. I guess if I had had any part of me that was willing to do anything like that, mind control would not have been necessary. I'm appalled at what I was forced to participate in, but I am relieved that this information is getting out, that people are passing the book Transformation of America hand in hand, hand to hand, so that hand in hand we can take back our country. This information is information that you have a right to know and a need to know, and their controlled medias are not going to suppress truth. Truth prevails. In 1988, Mark rescued my daughter Kelly and I. We couldn't think to escape. I couldn't think to save my daughter any more than I could think to save myself. And all those childhood hopes and dreams were certainly hadn't come to fruition. When Mark rescued Kelly and I, we didn't have any ability to even hope for good people. We didn't know they even existed. We didn't have a capacity to trust anyone. It wasn't within our realm of experience. I couldn't think to reason that Mark was a good guy. But I'd seen him with his animals. And even though I didn't have any ability to consciously reason, and Kelly didn't have any ability to consciously reason things out or to think things out, we had this extra sense developed. We sensed things very strongly. After all, when you consider that we use, 10% of our brain, we'd been like blasted into other parts of our brain, and these parts of our brain were real perceptive on what's considered, I suppose, psychic levels by some definition. When we had a sense for things, kind of like the animals did. And we noticed that the animals loved Mark. He had these raccoons that he'd rescued. He had 3 raccoons, and they all loved him. And they hugged him, and they wrapped their arms around his neck, and they patted on his face and kissed him. And, you know, that was really a neat thing for us to see, because we had only seen our animals abused. We lived on a farm. We had lived on a farm, and we had dogs and cats and horses and cows and guineas and chickens and all kinds of animals, all of which Alex Houston tortured or killed to keep us in line to, you know, if we didn't do this, this would happen to our pet. And we loved our animals. Please bear this in mind, that people who abuse children oftentimes abuse animals. If you see someone abusing an animal, keep your eyes open, look further, make sure those kids are safe. I've never seen an exception to this rule. Not that there's not one out there somewhere, but I've never seen an exception to it. So it was very telling to us that these animals loved Mark. Additionally, when he came in and rescued us, I mean, here we were under the gun of the CIA. Everything was very precarious, to say the least. I was 30 years old. I was supposed to be killed, as most mind-controlled slaves are at the age of 30. Besides, I was considered too old for sex by that time, so I was supposed to be wiped out. But Mark came in and rescued me from certain death and rescued my daughter from a fate much worse than death, and took the time to rescue our animals. He packed up all those cows and horses and guineas and chickens and loaded them up on these different trailers and everything and brought them to safety as well. This had a profound impact on Kelly and I. We certainly developed an ability to trust right there and then. Mark took us to the safety and serenity of Alaska. Since we were safe for the first time in our lives, experiencing love for the first time in our lives, memories of our past began flashing on our mind's screen. As these memories flashed, and I started to remember what had happened to me and to my daughter, particularly during the Reagan-Bush administration, I became enraged. I was enraged at what my daughter had been through, the tortures I'd endured, and what the plan was for humanity as a whole. I'd have been blinded by that rage, immobilized by that rage, if it weren't for Mark's wisdom in telling me that the best revenge is total recovery. Because through total recovery, by photographically recording all those events, I could expose these people for exactly what they are, for what their plans are, for what I witnessed behind the New World Order. Be able to get help for my daughter, who was in desperate need of help at that time.
Okay, here we go. She's talking about some photographic evidence and stuff. Okay, where's that at? That's what I need to see.
So I began writing out my memories. By writing out my memories, I used a different part of my brain than verbalizing. It bypasses emotion. Bypassing emotion was very necessary for logically making the incomprehensible comprehensible, for understanding and grasping what had happened to us and what could be done with that information.
So much for the photography stuff.
Kelly was not so fortunate. Because of the harmonic programming that she'd endured, remembering the traumas and deprogramming the program did not allow her access to all parts of her brain as it did me. She still needed some technological equipment to help her recover. She needed to actually have those neuron pathways vibrated back open with harmonic equipment. Therefore, she went into Humana Hospital in Anchorage, Alaska, in an intensive care unit. She suffered horribly at that time and responded only to some psychological intervention and not to any conventional medications. Kelly was actually suffering respiratory failure because mind control has advanced to the point where they know the ins and outs of the brain and the mind so well that they know how to program not only the subconscious but to go into the primitive mind, the very area of our mind where blinking, breathing, and circulatory, heartbeat, all that is regulated. And they could go in there and put death programs in place. In my daughter's case, it was respiratory failure, so that in the event that she ever had cause to remember, which they never expected could happen, but in espionage, that can happen. We've heard of that, where the brainwashing, where they have the memory access. So they wouldn't have to take the old cyanide pill anymore like they used to, like spies used to. Instead, they would just simply go into respiratory failure, circulatory failure, and no information would be released at all. There was no chance of the information getting out that way. Since my daughter was being raised was genetically and mind controlled, being brought up to be in espionage, she had that program in place and it went into effect. Because of the medical attention that she needed, she became quickly thrust into the illegal and immoral custody of the state of Tennessee, where she remains today. The violations of laws and rights that proliferated in her so-called legal case were extensive. We had one clean district attorney that went in and told the judge that he was violating constitutional rights and human rights in my daughter's case, and cited law after law after law, and the judge interrupted him and said, but laws do not apply in this case for reasons of national security. This certainly raises a question. What does national security have to do with a documented, validated, and proven rape and molestation of a child's mind and body? Kelly's sake, and the sake of so many other mind control survivors out there, we need to lift this veil of national security. We need to repeal the 1947 National Security Act. This is a national security that's threatening the security of our nation when it covers up such crimes against humanity as mind control, when it covers up the CIA's so-called war on drugs, when it covers up the...
Hey, controlling your blinking. Hey, you know, what is it? Didn't they like use what is it, Morse code or something through blinking? I'm trying to think. It is a crazy statement though, for sure.
Selling out of our country to New World Order controls. That's a national security that has nothing to do with the security of our nation. This national security has kept information pertaining to mind control for all of you for far too long. We've got to get this information out. We've got to arm others with knowledge on mind control, because knowledge is our only defense against mind control. We need to get this information out in detail so that we can all be more effective in our particular areas of taking back our country and ultimately taking back our world, for Kelly's sake, for the sake of all the other mind control survivors and victims that I know are out there. There's many, many of them. And for the sake of humanity as we know it. It is truth that sets us free. Please help us spread the word. Thank you.
That was definitely something for sure. I'll definitely say that was definitely something for sure. Okay. Sounds like to me didn't really have much really good evidence to work with. So the best she can do was like actually just write a book. Or the government's doing a really good job framing her as crazy and doing it really well because she doesn't have any evidence, so it's just easy to just write her off as crazy. I don't know. It's because I'm sure if I sit there and I try to like look some of this stuff up, do I want to? Do I really want to? Let me see. Can't think of Brian, right? What I would be interested in? I'd be interested in the. I would be interested. Yep, conspiracy theorists, of course. Yeah, I already know exactly what I'm about to walk into. I'd be interested in the court case thing about her daughter, or whatever that thing was. Hold on, I wanna not die here. Okay, I'm gonna need another one. Actually, in this case, can I just do a lance? I think I'll just do like some electrical enemies, honestly. Yeah, let's do some electrical. Oof, you're too big. Get you here. Let's get a lance here. All right, I'll put 2 lances here. And then a parallax for that. And then the last thing I want to do is, oh yeah, see, it can't even reach. Hold on, I'm doing one more build, and then I'm actually gonna just then move this to something else here. Let's go like this. I will put this right here. I will go like this. And then we will build out another one of our watery people. Bam. Okay. All right. Everything's looking good now. Everything's looking great. All right. Let me just let it do its building while I sit here and I pull up this lady. All right. So Kathy O'Brien, there's an American conspiracy theorist and Arthur who claims to have been a victim of a government mind control program called Project Monarch, which she, well, what was I looking at? Which she alleges was part of the CIA. Okay, cool. It's already, my thing's already done. Nice. All right. I want to Just take a quick look here. Okay, yeah, everything's actually pretty good. Everything's looking. Oh, hold on. Why isn't wait? How did I put a? See, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I checked it before. I sure did put a sorter by mistake. I meant to put an overflow gate. Okay, I'm glad I checked it. See, because that would have been a really bad surprise. That would have been a really bad surprise later. Okay, yeah. So let them turn through. All right. So ammo, everything's good. Everything looks good. Let me do batteries, and then we just let this. And then we can actually just let this play out, and then I could just read while I'm waiting for it to, for the enemies to just roll through. We'll build a large battery. I'll build a large battery just cause. Yeah, right there. Okay, and that puts my capacity. Puts a capacity of 66. Cool. So. Because you guys will probably use up a lot of electricity, I'm sure. And okay, yeah, now we just wait. All right, now let's go ahead. Let's see here. So let's see what we got here. So Project Monarch, which he alleges was part of CIA's Project MK Ultra. O'Brien made these assertions in Transformation of America in 1995 and access denied for reasons of national security, both of which she co-authored and self-published with her husband, Mark Phillips. According to the scholars, there is no credible evidence of O'Brien's claims, and there are numerous inconsistencies in her story. Conspiracy theories. All right. Let me just not get killed. Hold up. Do you not, or is that just, oh, I get it. Is it just because of the crash and not them actually setting it on fire? That's what I thought. Okay. I guess that's good enough, I suppose. Anyway, okay, so inconsistencies in our story. Let's see. In Transformation America, O'Brien claims that as a child, she was sexually abused first by her father and then by a network of child pornographers. Supposedly, she was then forced by the CIA to participate in Project Monarch, which she claims is a subsequent subsection of Project MKUltra and Project Artichoke. According to O'Brien, under hypnosis, she was able to recall memories of sexual abuse of both herself and her daughter by international pedophile rings, drug barons, Satanists who allegedly used a form of trauma-based mind control programming to make her a sex slave. Which then that's how that ties to Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Okay. O'Brien accuses a wide range of prominent people from America, Canadian and Mexican and Saudi Arabian government officials to stars of the country music scene of being part of Project Monarch conspiracy to operate sex slave rings. So we have America, we have Canada, we have Mexico, and then we have Saudi Arabia. Like, I'm sorry. All right, last round here. Let's go through this so we can save it and we can read this, because I'm actually pretty interested now in figuring out this lady's story. Oh, that's not good. Is he managing to... No, he's still... Okay, he's still there. Come on. Make sure he dies. Bro, why is my thing not shooting? Okay. I need to real quick build something. It's going to take too long. I need this one, and I need it like now. Jesus Christ. This is absurd. If I lose just because he could just walk over walls, I'm gonna be really upset. Bro, he's really about to... Okay, I need to think about... I need to think about my life's decisions right here, right now. And figure out what am I about to do. Jesus Christ. I'm actually about to lose this. It's healing. It's healing and walking over things. So I can't even box it in like I've been doing this whole time. Okay. Well. Okay. Well. Yeah, this is not going to work. This is not going to work at all. Jesus Christ. I can't even do this because it's just going to let me kill that. This is going to be crazy. If I somehow survive this, oh wait, maybe some quick electrical. Okay, let me think about this for a second. This would be the only saving grace I might be able to like walk away with if it can build it fast enough, maybe. Right? And then if I can get boy, okay, and all right, moment of truth. Come on. Yep, come on. Okay, the lance is working. I need another lance here now. Oh my god. Cheating bastards. Whatever. Okay. Well, another time. Let me cheating bastards. It's just so wild to me right now. I can't even, and the thing is I can't even. All right. Is it this one? No. Where is it at? Okay, probably this one here, right? Because I'm going to have to, oh, nope, I can't even use this one. Hold on, I just need to find a map so that I can just have it running to build supplies back up for me to then launch back to that place. That's ground zero. That's not going to work. Where is it at? Is it this one? Probably here. Ruinous Shores. Yes. This will work here. Whew, boy, I ain't got no form of metaglass around here. I don't even think I can make any. Bro, this video game is a massive pain. Am I making metaglass? I am. Okay. Thankfully, I'm making some metaglass right here. So, we can yep, I can. Oh yeah, definitely going to need to. Yeah, I'm gonna need all this. Oh well, actually, you can stay right there. But the rest of this here, yeah, you guys are coming. And then, come on. Because I'm trying to get the damn thing out of my way. Here we go. Okay. And boom. Red Dead 2 is lit. Yeah. It's a great way to pass the time. For sure. Okay. There we go. Now all I gotta do is actually just sit here and just let it just build up supplies. Okay, so coal is already maxed out. Yeah. So coal's already maxed out. So I could just literally just sit here and just let it do it. Now I can read this lady. All right, let's see what we got here. So Right, sexy. So O'Brien accuses a wide range of prominent people, from American, Canadian, Mexican, and Saudi Arabian government officials to stars of the country music scene, of being a part of the Project Monarch conspiracy to operate sex slave rings and commit child abuse. For example, well, if I was to sit there and try to pretend like this was indeed going on, my first question would have just been, for what purpose? If this was going to be ran under MK Ultra and Project Artichoke, which were already being blown wide open, right? I would like to think that there'd be some type of purpose behind this, and I can't think of anything for like sex slaves. So I'm not sure. Just like for there to be no documentation and nobody else to corroborate, I don't know. I really don't know. But let's see. So, for example, O'Brien claims, yes, that George H.W. Bush, Miguel, that person used holograms to appear to her in altered form, saying Bush apparently activated a hologram of the lizard-like alien, which provided the illusion of Bush transforming like a Charmeleon before my eyes. In retrospect, I understand that Bush had been painstakingly careful in positioning our seats in order that the hologram's effectiveness be maximized. And what year is this? I'm thinking about technological sophistication. We're talking about holograms. Okay. O'Brien has claimed that Project Monarch caused her to develop dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder, but during alternate personality episodes, she has photographic recall. O'Brien's transformation of America has been credited as originating one of the most significant and extreme mind-control conspiracy theories, and her claim of links between satanic ritual abuse and MK Ultra have influenced popular conspiracy culture. Religious political scholars have criticized O'Brien's claims for lacking any supporting evidence. David G. Robertson characterized them as symptomatic of baseless moral panic and wrote that no one has ever been prosecuted of such crimes, nor has any corroborating material evidence ever been produced. According to this person's scholarly and journalistic treatments of MK Ultra make no mention of a Project Monarch. Barker describes O'Brien's account as sensational even by the standards of conspiracy literature, and notes that even Black Helicopter conspiracy theorist Jim Keith considered it fraudulent or delusional. This person cited O'Brien's claims that as an example of conspiracy theories, leaps of imagination and willingness to deviate from common sense. Like, my thing is, like, if she could have, especially over many years, like, there's just, like, you had, like, nothing to show. This is the thing. Yeah, that's fake stuff. It's real. Yeah, but she has to show something. It can't just be her word and then there's nobody else. She's exercised. It's a sex ring. If it's a sex ring, right? Why is it not just more than just her and her daughter? So it was a sex ring of just those two people, just her and her daughter. We have no other people anywhere else. We have no other documents anywhere else. We found the documents for Project Ultra, right? For Project Ultra and then the other thing, but nothing about this stuff at all for the for the sex trafficking rings and stuff. Like I don't know. I just really don't know. And then she's like, as a matter of fact, didn't he have passports? We had passports back then. I'm gonna go with the assumption that we had passports back then, where you just you still had the stamp, right? So like, I mean, if she's being sex trafficked, like it's not like she's like, I would, especially like through the government. If it's being done through the government, I'd like to imagine that they're not moving her. That they're not moving her without like going through like some like official means of doing so to like keep it. To make it appear normal that she's just traveling normal. It'd be really strange if she's sitting there, she's just popping up in like other countries and stuff. No photos, no videos, like nothing at all of just the. I don't know. at least like evidence of like you just been in other countries where you was being sex trafficked, like something, something. Jesus Christ! But it's not about sex. It's about taking healthy minds. Taking healthy minds. The government is smarter than that. Yeah, but this is all under the guy. But hold on. But that's not what I'm reading here, right? Because MK Ultra and Project Artichoke is about like if anything, these two are about like mental manipulation and stuff like that. The stuff that she's talking about, the thing that she's talking about something that seems to just revolve just almost exclusively around sex. Form a trauma-based mind control program to make with the intention of making her a sex slave. So it's like, because like these two are already like trying to like just mind control. There's no need to like then just spin off a separate mind controlling project when you already got two main ones that are getting all your funding and everything in order to, because like if they're successful, if just those two projects are successful, then they'll be successful at anything, right? If you can control somebody's mind to divulge secrets, then you should, I can't see how you're not able to control somebody's mind to then essentially do whatever you want. So like to spin off a separate project exclusively to make her a sex, for sex slave stuff is just kind of crazy for him. That's just another form of trauma, right? But yeah, but these projects, the point of these projects is not so much as trauma, it's just the ability to control people's minds, right? Whether that be through trauma or drugs or like whatever other like thing they're trying to like utilize. But this one sounds like this project is just exclusively revolve around using whatever method is learned from here just exclusively to make her a sex slave. And it's just her. This is what's like bothering me the most. Like, it's just her. Her and potentially her daughter. But nobody else. Operate sex slaves to commit child abuse. Racist prejudice. Yeah, see, it's already gonna just start diving into stuff I just do not want to like bother through. But that's the thing. Like, if she had anything, a document, a photo, other people, if she had another person, her daughter's not even if her daughter was sane, right? Since she's. I guess her daughter's also like seeking a treatment thing. Even if that wasn't the case, one family member wouldn't necessarily be a good. I'm trying to think. Would one particular family member be a good indicator? No, it just really wouldn't be, because a family member could do a lot. Like, I mean, a family member would have like lots of reasons to either lie or spend anything, so I wouldn't even take a family member. But I don't know, like this thing with the sex slave, I don't know. She it would have been nice if she had dropped anything else. If she had dropped anything else about this, let me see if I can get like a separate Google for her, because I don't want to rely just exclusively on the wiki. But ooh, she got an Instagram. Ooh. She has Instagram. This is her. Yep, this is her. Oof. Okay. Not as crazy as I would have thought, but let's see. Oh, don't tell me there's other like women with her name in it. Okay. Let me go back into her thing real quick and see if Project Monarch. Let's see if we can just pull up any information about Project Monarch. Assuming this is actually of course, right? Because my clicking skills knows no bounds here. O'Brien, Project Monarch. Sexual abuse, and yep. So this is just story of what she experienced when she was under the spell of MK Ultra mind control. The true life story of CIA mind control slave. Is the only vocal and recovered survivor of the Central Intelligence Agency's MK Ultra Project Monarch mind control. Okay, let me Let's click here real quick. Nope, this is just like a book. This is not gonna do me any good. Project Monarch. This exposition is substantiated by declassified. Okay, this maybe, of course, and yep, wall of text with some endnotes. Okay. Yeah, see, it's all of it's relying on her testimony. Everything is relying on her testimony. Let me read like the first couple of things of this here. Actually, no. Can I get Project Monarch? Is there any? Okay, that's sex. Referred to as sexual program, this programming eliminates all learned moral convictions, stimulates the primitive sexual instinct, devoid of blah, blah, blah. Can I go? Is there a next one? Method and component. The initial process begins with creating disassociation with the subject. The branches are used to whip victims in rituals for cleansing purposes. Okay, yep. So this is just programs and places. It's difficult to figure out who the original programmer of this satanic project was. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is not, who is this person here? This is not actually telling me where this is being sourced from. If I could like validate where this is being sourced from, like this would maybe be something, but book. This looks like another book. It's another book. More books. These all look like a lot of books, potentially. For $20. $30 in this place. Hold on. Let me close you. Let's close you because I got my titanium up. Okay. Let me see. Who's this person here? Ron Patton. Owner publisher at Paranoia is a conspiracy researcher having written articles for Paranoia magazine on CIA mind control. Project Monarch. Software consultant and also software expertise wise. Okay, this is probably somebody else. But it's a guy specializing in conspiracy theories. Professor of control. It's help me. Conspiracy. See, I'm even getting like other names for like other people. So this guy, Professor of Control and Intelligent Systems Engineering. This person, and then these are the books he's written. Where? All right, because then I'd have to sit there and I'd have to go through these sources. Project Monarch. Okay, hold on. Let's try this one. Project Monarch, 1993. Okay, let's see. Mark Phillip and Kathy O'Brien's CIMK Ultramind. Maybe I might try that one. I might try that YouTube video. We'll see. What's the consensus of Kathy O'Brien? Oh, look, we got a Reddit post. And this is 4 months ago. Talking about the woman who claims to have been subject to Project Monarch, assaulted by figures such as these people, and almost burned alive at that place. She has somehow stuck by her story since 1995, if I recall correctly, and there's a video from a documentary on YouTube where photos of her mutilated vagina. Oof, I'm glad I didn't. That might have been a YouTube video we were looking at. I'm glad I didn't click on it. That's scary. Which she said was done by her MK Ultra handlers for Hillary's enjoyment. Hillary Clinton be getting all kinds of flack. It's just crazy. I haven't seen anyone analyze her story from a critical position. The only thing I can find online is QAnon accounts sharing it's an absolute truth. I'm curious to hear other opinions. In my opinion, O'Brien is a victim of unscrupulous people who took a paranoid individual and reinforced their delusions for their own agenda. Probably the case. Liar or lunatic. Neither. Okay, anybody got anything? Alex Jones in a wig. Funny. She's unwell or a huckster. Her claims are really implausible. Just from her Wikipedia page, for example, claims that these people, yeah, so we just read. Yeah, like saying like the hologram thing, was just like one that just really gave me. Let's see. If she was telling the truth and this much shit happened to her, why didn't they just snuff her out when she started talking? All right. She claims she got Dutch doored by these people. I'm convinced she believes it's real, and all these people who promote and amplify her claims, blah, blah, blah. Psychosis of Griff, some more statements. A couple of years ago, I was midway through the outpatient operation, and my podiatrist? What is this? I can't even. A podiatrist is a doctor. How do you pronounce it? Why am I struggling to say podiatric? Is it podiatric? And caring for your feet and ankles. Is it a podiatrist? There we go, podiatrist. I was like, bro, why am I like struggling to even pronounce this? Podiatrist. It's podiatrist. Okay. Podiatrist brings up, and our husband were patients of his before explaining that he was government media run by a cabal of satanic pedophiles. After it was well done. After was bro, like English language is sometimes a hell of a struggle for me. I don't know why. After he was done, he handed me 5 copies of her book, 1 for me and 4 to give out. When I left, I noticed his truck, the parking lot was covered with chemtrail bumper stickers. This is a Cleveland Clinic educated podiatrist. I'm confused with what this is supposed to mean, but maybe there might be some good stuff in here. Hold on. Buddy of mine was a whiz in the bio department of my college, and he was on the ground floor of a Boston-based fecal transplant company or organization. I'm not sure, we lost touch, but that isn't the point. The point on some of the dumbest things I've ever heard another person say have come out of this dude's mouth, but again, he's brilliant at biology. Same goes for my wife's classmate. Yes, okay. So they're just reinforcing that people can be really educated, smart-wise, and some stuff, and then just fall short, I suppose, and other things is what that sounds like. Let me just stop these 2 things real quick, because we got that maxed out. All right. A woman makes some wildly implausible claims, but provides a photo of her vagina as evidence. There's nothing to critically analyze. You either speculate about lies or mental illness. This is insane. Let's see. When King Ultra was halted in 1973, Hillary was still Hillary Rodham, 26 years old, fresh out of Yale, and just met her future husband. Neither she or Bill would have. Okay. See, this is what I kind of had in the back of my mind, but I just wasn't too sure because I wasn't. I couldn't remember for the life of me, like when Hillary and Bill got together. But see, that would have been significantly problematic because the program was shut. Like the program that is supposed to be under was shut down like around 1971, if I'm not mistaken, 1971 or 1973, like somewhere around there. So if she was talking about Hillary and Bill Clinton. When was George? Let's start with George H.W. Bush, right? George H.W. Bush. When was this man president? Okay, he was alive in 1924, but when was he actually president? He was president in 1989. Well, that's kind of odd. He's president in 1989. Or are we just, or maybe we could just, maybe we'll go with that no, he was even, and then he was vice president. He was vice president in 1989 to 1993, and his presidential term was 1989 to 1993. He invented the CIA. I don't know, the timelines. I guess if he was just part of it before he became presidency, I guess. But that is what you could maybe get away with that. But When did Bill Clinton? Let's just go with Mary Hillary. 1975. Okay, so when did Bill Clinton meet? When did Bill Clinton, where, not where. Okay, when did Bill Clinton meet Hillary? Timeline. Oh, cool. They got a cute little museum thing for themselves over here. Let's see. Bill Clinton and childhood friend met presidential candidate, blah, blah, blah. Bill Clinton political career, blah, blah, blah. Bill Clinton and Hillary. That's what Hillary looked like? Bruv. I ain't gonna lie. Wow. Look at that. She, actually looks... Look, she got... I'm continuing on. Met at a Yale law school after Bill could not stop staring at Hillary. She walked over to him and introduced herself. Aw, that's cute. But when was this? 1971. Okay. You see the problem? You see the problem? Is that... Was it in here? Or was it... I think that was just what she was just talking about, right? I think that's... Let's see, all right? Because I think that was... I believe that was her statement in the video when she was talking about it. Do I want to sit there and get... Yep, they all start human but end up in the dark zone. For sure. I would say, because she definitely... I would have never pictured Hillary Clinton looking like that. Jesus Christ, can I... Okay, I got too many tabs killing me. That's what it is. Yeah, I got too many tabs. But is there I don't know if I can get... I wish it was like on YouTube, because if it's on YouTube I can get the transcript, because I don't feel like trying to like scrub through, because I'm pretty sure she mentioned like about being a sex slave for Bill and Hillary. I'm almost positive.
But being within the country music industry, we had... As my handler, he took me to various military and NASA installations for mind control programming.
Here we go. Hold on.
And provided a cover for me to be taken throughout the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean for these criminal covert operations. As my handler, he took me to various military and NASA installations for mind control programming for specific operations that I was forced to participate in. These operations that I won't have time to get into tonight are detailed in our book, Transformation of America. And they involve such leaders as the President of Mexico at that time, De la Madrid, and Vice President Salinas. It was my experience that in 1984, there's a CIA trauma base, near-death trauma center that's located in Lampe, Missouri. It's called the Swiss Villa Amphitheater. And they bring certain involved country music acts in to bring large, located, right there in Branson, so that it would be closer to Clinton's cocaine operations. Lampe.
Wait, hold on. I don't even know why I didn't even catch that on from the start. Oh, hold on, let me stop this one. Oh, I can stop both of them. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can stop the meta glass. Let me stop this and let me stop the meta glass here. Silicon is almost okay. Can you move out of the way? Can you move out of, bro? Why is my mouse tripping on me? Close. Okay, cool. Close. Let's see. All right. Oh, silicon. Silicon's the last thing. Yep, silicon's the last one, and then we'll be maxed out. Why is she talking about operations after in 1980? The program ended in 1971. She surely couldn't be still part of anything after that, because that's when it got busted open and all the program secrets started getting found out. Bro, why is my mouse tripping right now? I need a new mouse.
Free trade of our nation's children. It was so obvious to me, I didn't realize that people were unaware and had bought into some kind of smoke and mirrors illusion. This criminal activity that was going on at that time, the people that were involved were following directions from George Bush. I don't purport to know it all. I don't purport to know that George Bush first began with the United Nations. Then he went on and answered to him and knew that Salinas was to be coming into power, and Salinas had more. And I heard Ronald Reagan and Brian Mulrooney discussing the New World Order. For those of you who don't want to believe that he's involved in this, he told you he's an actor. World peace was through mind control of the masses. That under mind control, there's no free thought, no free will, and have that spiritual expression, because of which I certainly would never have done. I guess if I had had any part of me that was willing to do anything like that, mind control would not have been necessary. I'm appalled at what I was forced to participate in, but I am relieved that this information and their controlled medias are not going to suppress. I couldn't think to save my daughter any more than I could. When Mark rescued Kelly and I, we didn't have any ability to even hope for good people. We didn't have any ability to consciously reason, and Kelly didn't have any ability to consciously reason things out of by some definition. When we had a sense for things, kind of like the animals did. And we noticed that the animals loved Mark. He had these red dogs and cats and horses and cows and guineas and chickens and all kinds of animals, all of which Alex Houston tortured or saved. I've never seen an exception to this rule. Not that I was considered too old for sex by that time, so I was supposed to be wiped out. But Mark came in and rescued me from certain death and rescued my daughter from these different trailers and everything and brought them to safety as well. As these memories flashed, and I started total recovery, because through passes emotion, allow her access to all parts of her brain as it did me. Really suffering a respiratory failure. In my daughter's case, it was respiratory failure, so that in the event that she ever had cause to remember,
she was talking because she was saying the part where she was like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton both like bisexual.
And I heard George Bush and Bill Clinton talking, where from the point of view I had, they certainly were friends, and they didn't recognize any party lines between them. That's something for the, a smoke and mirrors illusion for the public. It's not something they adhere to, because they had exactly the same agenda, and that was for bringing in this New World Order. I heard George Bush talking at that time. He was talking to Bill Clinton, and I've since photographically recorded it and wrote it verbatim in our book, that when the American people became disillusioned with Republicans leading them into the New World Order, that Bill Clinton, as a Democrat, was going to be put into the office of president. This was decided in 1984. Actually, I'd heard about it even prior to that. But that, as of 1984, they were already discussing it as an absolute fact. It was also discussed in the groundwork for NAFTA, that by the time George Bush went into the office of president, that Salinas was going to become president of Mexico, and they together would be bringing in the NAFTA, which was the beginning of New World Order controls. I was forced to participate in the criminal groundwork for NAFTA, the opening of the Juarez-Mexican border to free trade of drugs, free trade of our nation's children. It's absolutely appalling, the criminal roots of NAFTA. Again, this is detailed in the book. But it's interesting to note that these political moves had already been decided way back when. And as I deprogrammed, and as I was, it was really something to me to find out people didn't know about this stuff. And it was so obvious to me, I didn't realize that people were unaware and had mind control programming on NASA in order that would be transferred back to Nashville, Tennessee to carry out operations during the Reagan administration. Alex Houston is a ventriloquist, stage hypnotist, CIA operations. The United States, Canada, working at that time and provided a cover for me to be taken throughout the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Caribbean for these criminal covert operations. I have time to get into tonight. I've detailed in our book, Transformation of America. It was my experience that in 1984, there's a CIA trauma base near certain involved country music acts in. It was more conveniently relocated, right there in Branson. They didn't recognize any party lines between them in this New World Order. I quickly recorded it and wrote it. Decided in 1984, and also discussed the NAFTA, of NAFTA. It was really something to me to find out people didn't know about this stuff. And it was understand good people don't think that way. They don't are kind of the people that were involved were following directions from George Bush. I don't propose an answer to George Bush. Then he ran our country through 3 administrations. Salinas was to be coming into power, and Salinas also Saudi Arabian King Fahd, the Prime Minister of Canada, New World Order. Senator Byrd had acted in the capacity of smoke and mirrors illusion for all of us. Nevertheless, I heard Ronald Reagan telling Brian Mulroney mind control, and I wondered that under mind control there's no free thought expression without any spirituality of love anyway. That is where world peace is. Against my will, all of which I certainly would never have. I'm appalled at what I was forced to participate in, but I am relieved that this information is getting out. Never have done. I guess if I had had any part of me that was willing to do anything like that, mind control would not have been necessary. I've been forced to participate in numerous operations against my will, all of which I certainly would never have. Peace is not in mind control. Control would not have been necessary. Hand in hand, hand to hand, so that hand in hand we can take back our country. And all those childhood hopes and dreams were certainly. I couldn't think to reason that Mark was a good guy. Extra sense developed. We sensed things very. And that was really a neat thing for us to see, because we had only seen our animals would be to if we didn't do this, this would happen to our pet, and we loved our exception to this rule. Not that there's not one out there somewhere, but I've never seen it. As most mind control slaves are at the age of 30. Besides, I was considered too old for than death, and took the time to rescue our animals. We developed an ability to trust right there and then. As these memories flashed, by that rage, if it weren't for Mark's wisdom in telling me that help at that particular time. So I began writing out my memories. By writing out my with that information. Kelly was not so fortunate. Because of logical equipment to help her recover, she needed to actually have logical intervention and not to any conventional medications. Kelly was actually thinking, breathing, and circulatory, heartbeat, all that is regulated. And they could go in there and put death programs in place. In my daughter's case, it was respiratory failure, so that in the event that she ever had cause failure, circulatory failure, and no information would be released at all. There was no chance of the information getting out that way. Since my daughter was being held in immoral custody of the state of Tennessee, where she remained, interrupted him and said, but laws do not apply in this case for reasons. Such crimes against humanity as pertaining to mind control for all of you for far too long, so that we can all be more effective. And our particular, by that time.
I know I didn't imagine it. At some point in here, she's talking about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton both being bisexual. Okay. And I'm trying to just understand because now that I think about it, that would probably be the easiest thing to sit there and identify as a major red flag for her entire story, because they're right, because then the timeline certainly would not make any sense. Right, because the program, if her story is that the Project Monarch is running underneath those two other programs, which were terminated and found around 1971 and 1973, right? That's what we read, right? Is it Project Ultra, right? Let's just go back to it real quick. MK Ultra, right? Because MK Ultra was found out 1973, right? If her program that she's saying that she was a part of or being brought into was operating under these, and these were terminated because they were found out back then, because this is where a lot of stuff was just coming out into the open, like the Tuskegee experiment and everything, right? But Hillary and Bill Clinton weren't even, they weren't even, they were just now already getting together in 1971. George McGovern was the president at the time. Oh, and then Nixon won actually back then. So then President Nixon was the one that was presidency that saw these programs come to light under. But there's no mention of him about him. I don't know. Honestly, it's just my brain is just it's just her. It's just her. It's just her. Her daughter is essentially MRA, I guess by the state or something. But then it's just her. Nobody else is saying or brought up anything. So I don't know. This not only is this one extraordinary, but this stuff doesn't really strike me. Some top secrecy. April, her story jumps all over the place because her father molested her from the moment she was born, and then sold her to a pedophile sex ring sanctioned by General Ford. And General Ford is crazy. On her blog, she also claims that Clinton raped her as a child, but the timeline of that is really sketchy. Hillary Clinton is just 10 years older than Kathy Bryant, so now we're led to believe. You see? This is what I was looking for. I was looking for somebody to sit there and just put it up, because I was gonna sit there and just dig through it. But I do remember that part, right? I do remember that part when she was saying Hillary Clinton for her enjoyment, and if the age gap truly is only 10 years old, and she was having this stuff done to her as a child, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It truly is. I'm sorry. And the sexual cult ties in with a lot of what Kathy said. I mean, that's sex cult stuff in general. So I mean, yeah. I'll just give this a quick Google search. But yeah, I think we're just about exhausted. Franklin child prostitution ring allegations. 1988. See, and this is in 1988. So this is before the program. This is before the program. This is not, it's not making sense. These timelines are not making sense. This is before the program. So this means nothing to me, honestly. All the prominent Nebraskan politicians were accused of involvement in a sex trafficking ring. Allegations attracted significant public and political interest until late 1990, when separate state and federal grand juries concluded that allegations were unfounded and the ring was a carefully crafted hoax. And then we sit there, we go through the sources. But like I said, I don't even care much about it because the timeline doesn't matter to me. I'm looking for the stuff that would fit the timeline for this program. So, well, that's that. That one's that. Let me start my thing back now. Actually, can I? Is it gonna let me? Yeah, it is. Okay. No, it's over here, right? Bro, if my mouse don't stop tripping. No, it's my mouse. My mouse is really, I think my mouse is dying. I think after like 6 years of use. Am I crazy? I gotta be crazy, right? No, I gotta be crazy. Yeah, see there. See, we got all the resources and stuff we need now. Yes. All right, let me see bro, did they really, bro, they destroyed everything. Jesus Christ, they like really murdered, they literally got, well, it's a good thing I didn't have much. Oh, cool. Is my stuff? Okay, some of my things are still here though. Oh, nice, because these are expensive, like the titanium walls, and these things especially. But they look like they still got some ammo on them, so like they'll be able to hold off. But okay, I'll be able to rebuild a lot of this stuff. Let's save, and that'll be for another day. But yeah, no, this was a good read. This was good, right? Because you know, we came across Project Artichoke and Project MK Ultra. So that was really awesome. So, and see, this is what I'm talking about, right? The conspiracy theories that have the documents to back them up. It's unfortunate that, you know, they were used to springboard like some other crazy stuff. Cause I don't know. I just have like some serious doubts about the woman's. We broke the matrix a little. Yeah. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But like I said, I knew up front, like off the bat, that the timeline was going to be before the 1970s. Because like I said, you know, before oversight and a lot of the technological capabilities of monitoring stuff became like really accessible and really ingrained, a lot of this stuff was just happening under the radar with like nobody knowing before the 1970s. So before the 1970s, there was all kinds of crazy things. And then you had all like the actual war stuff that we literally was just coming off from. World War, Cold War, you know, nuclear weapons pointing at each other, Cuban Missile Crisis, Vietnam War, like all these times where it's like, you know, the rise of China, bro, like just like, and this is just like what? This is only 2024. So we're talking about like just 40 years ago. 40 years ago, like it was just a significantly different place back then. So it's just crazy. It's just kind of crazy how crazy some of the stuff back then was. But yeah, no. It's that's why I like with what's the guy's name? Jeffrey Dahmer. That's why I like with the Jeffrey Dahmer guy, with him being able to knock off like the number of bodies he did and like, be all extra crazy with it. That stuff totally believable because, you know, for how would I even characterize it? Like, I want to say like low level, but like from an individual citizen person level, right? Your surveillance and stuff wasn't even going to really kick in until after 9/11, so like 2001, where like then like surveillance got really good. Domino's fake. We'll get into that next time. Yeah, we'll definitely we'll get into that next time. Sort of thing, but you know, surveillance is like such a major part of what makes a lot of this stuff, makes or breaks a lot of these things. Okay, like you have to be able to do these things and do them in secrecy and control every single individual person that's involved in it, every single entity you involve with it that you don't also have like direct communication with. So involving foreign nationals is a bit problematic, because then because you got to control the foreign national, you got to control the foreign nationals people that the foreign national also has with them that also have to be easily controlled. And then like you have to have no form of leaks whatsoever, nobody being in the wrong place that catches it and whatnot. It's just too much. It's just too much. That's why I like this stuff. I you know, say it one more time, right? The level of control needed to exercise in order for these things to actually pan out properly is just impossible. I just can't see it. It's just impossible. All right. This is not to say that certain things aren't legitimate, right? I'm telling you, like, you know, like I say, you got the documents here for this stuff. Before the 1970s, plenty of examples of like just government doing crazy stuff. That's indisputable, right? The stuff that they don't want to declassify, like the JFK assassination, MLK assassination, very great examples, right? Because you can't, as a regular person, I'll say it again, right? You can't, as a regular person, not look at those and be like, I really cannot understand what good reason they would have to keep things like that classified. No reason, especially them being so long ago, without actual government involvement. It is what it is. So with that being said, that about concludes today's stream. We will almost certainly be streaming again later today. Excuse me. I was trying to stream earlier. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I gotta see how I'm feeling. It might just be another late one, so like maybe not till close to around midnight. Some time zone. Somebody's time zone is gonna have it at midnight. But yeah, no. This was really good. I definitely enjoyed it as far as like the stuff that we was pulling through. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get into next time. Probably gonna dig a little bit more into like where our presidential election is probably gonna head towards. Because I really think there's a lot of power in those polls. Harris is almost certainly going to win. Unless something crazy happens, I'm telling you guys, Harris is most certainly going to win. It's nice to see that America, economy-wise, is starting to get back up. The interest rates look like they're about to start dropping down. And oh my gosh, man, the prisoner exchange, right? That showed that America is like actually respected again, and like Biden really did his thing. And making that deal actually happen. Yeah, no, there's just so much to actually finally feel good about when it comes to the American experiment. So yeah, it's all looking good. And then, like I said, hopefully after this election, the Trump and like all those people, boy, they get politically packed up, and we get to rebuild the party into what it needs to be. People that actually care about the debt, people that actually care about education, you know, and none of this overly extreme stuff anymore. But yeah, always a pleasure, Robin, especially. You know, it's great having you back. And yeah, we'll certainly be streaming again later today. So you guys take care.
Will Almighty ever stop being trash? Can he ever not be sorry? Find out next time on Almighty's stream.